Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Sunday Sideshow. I am your host, Kyle, as usual. How's everybody doing tonight? I've had a wonderful weekend so far. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, stepdads, boyfriends who are doing a job that is very difficult. It is not easy to step into a relationship with an existing child that is not your own. It is a fine line to tiptoe, to know exactly where you belong, what you can do, what you shouldn't do. And so I applaud anybody out there who's done that. I think that is possibly the hardest job, the hardest position to be in. I'm not saying being a father to your own children is easy. It's not. But that's a very tricky position. For anybody who's ever done it before, stepmoms also, but this is Dad's Day, so we're talking about dads today. And I have an incredible dad. He is my stepdad, but he's the only dad that I recognize, and he did exactly that. He stepped into a position that was not easy with a child that was off of his rocker, who was incredibly difficult for many, many years, and he never gave up on me. So I appreciate him so much. He's a wonderful role model, and lucky him, he got to go out and golf today. He loves to golf, so he got to go out and golf all day. So I'm happy he got to do that. Janelle said she blocked my mom. Well, great going, Janelle. That's just wonderful. I was handing out chainsaws last week. We're gonna have to backpedal. Going from you had your wrench back, now you're going to get a Q-tip. You're going to have something gentle and soft, because this is insane. How do I unblock my mom? Somebody tell me. Somebody's got to tell me, because I don't even know how to do that. I can't see her in here. Let me see. Hold on. Nope, I don't want to do that. Put her in timeout. Ban user. Mom, do me a favor. If try to write a comment, will you? You hid her. So I have to unhide her. How do I do that? Anybody know? How do I unhide her? I guess I should know these things. Pool noodles, good. Yeah. Anyway, tonight on the show, if anyone knows, please tell me how to do this, to unhide my mom. Tonight on the show, we're going to discuss some important social topics. One of them, men wearing Speedos, yay or nay? I think this is something that needs to be addressed. I think it's a very important social topic. At least it's something that I think we need to talk about, because we're seeing too much of it, just way, way too much of it. And we're going to get into some other stuff. But for now, let me introduce my two co-hosts, my two good friends. You might know one of them as the other Liam Neeson, or the other Jason Statham. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome That's Fresh, and our mild-mannered superhero dad, who he comes off as a very calm, collected, mild-mannered guy, but he's a superhero in his own right. This is Ben from Unexplained. Welcome, lads.
It's not called calm and collective. It's fucking deranged. He just darts around everywhere. He's like a firework. What are you on about? There's nothing called calm and collective about that.
He said he's a firework.
He's a firework of a man. He's a firework of a man. But he's got to the point in his life where he's still strong, just not for very long.
Not toilet roll.
Well, it depends on your toilet roll. It depends on your toilet roll. I'm not. What's the matter with you now? It's about.
Just laughing about my own joke.
Of course you would. You're British. Yeah, it depends
well, here we go again.
It depends what status you are on the toilet roll scale, doesn't it? Like,
Well, yeah, I would say
Okay.
I would say I'm
So-
probably an andrex.
I've not the average scale, the medium scale, yeah, for
Yeah.
the toilet roll scale is the 2-ply,
Mhm.
2-ply assassin, the bad man, yeah.
Yeah.
You want to go up a level, you're talking the 3-ply, the luxury. Okay.
Cashel.
It's rare that I go anywhere and see triple and sheer butter.
Oh,
you're
that's
right.
the best. That's the
Yeah.
best. But listen, there's one above that.
Mm.
There's one above that.
Yeah, I know what it is, but don't you dare say it.
The wet wipe.
Oh no, I didn't think you were going to say that.
Yeah.
The wet
you're right,
wipe.
Bob.
No,
Yeah.
I thought you meant staff at home. To wipe it.
Who the frig's got staff at home to wipe it?
I had a situation a few weeks ago where I had to use the whole of my wrist, the whole of my forearm.
What?
Yeah, it's a rent. You don't even want to know, honest to God.
Oh my God.
You know the situation I get into, Kyle. It becomes very animalistic
Oh boy.
in nature. Anyway, shall we all say hi to each other? Evening, Ben.
Hello, Fresh. Welcome.
Welcome.
Hello, Cole. Great to see you,
Welcome.
mate. And can I just say, Happy Father's Day.
Happy
Everybody,
Father's
all
Day.
the dads in it. Happy Father's Day.
Yes,
Happy Father's Day to you too.
Happy
also.
commercial,
Yeah.
happy commercial day in another calendar of piss. Thank you.
And hello to everybody in the chat. Thanks for coming.
I'll tell you what, right, I've got to address some issues here in this chat because I've seen that Janelle, fucking hell,
Janelle.
Janelle. I'm going to start calling Janelle.
Yeah.
It's going to go Italian on it and call her Janelli.
Okay.
Janelli. That's what we're going to call her from now on. Where's she been? I've been searching the whole bloody internet for her. Been on loads of accounts, internet.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
No, I have been stalking. I've been trying to find her on other accounts. It's really concerned me.
She's been camping.
What?
She's been camping. She's been away with her family camping.
She's always going camping. She's like become a tour operator for the great outdoors, the woman.
Yeah. Yeah, she is.
Well, she's gotten into this thing, much more. She's out in the woods. She's
No
actually
shit.
putting
She's
boots
never at
on the
home.
ground.
I'm surprised she's here now, laughing her head off. Look at her.
Yeah, she's putting boots on the ground. God bless her for it.
Oh my word! Here's that bloody Joe from El Bentoller as well. He's
Yeah.
one.
There
He's
he is.
fucking
Hello,
one
Joe.
he is.
E-Rev,
He's a one.
Salty.
He is that one. Oh my God.
CBC, Sharon.
Well, yeah,
Mimi.
Chris, what's up? Salty, you got to send me an email, man. I'm not going to let you go of
Salty.
this. I'm gonna dog you until you do it.
What's he
Salty,
got?
send him an email, will
What's
you,
he got to
mate?
do?
Sort it out.
What's he trying to do? What's he got to do? What's he meant to do?
I'm trying to get him on the show.
Oh right, is he being a bit gay about it?
Well, he just hasn't sent me the email. I'm sure he's, forgot it.
Is he playing
Got
hard to
busy.
get
Something
from?
happened.
I mean, I'm not
Chris,
surprised.
how are you, buddy? E-Rev, what's up?
Rev. I mean, I'm not surprised, really, to be quite honest with you, that he wants to come on such a show like this. Let's be fair. Good
I was
God.
thinking the same thing. I was thinking the same thing. He
No.
in his head he's going, how many times have I heard Kyle say he forgets things? He'll just forget after a while.
I
I
mean,
won't have to do this stupid show.
yeah, I've had to increase my therapy to 2 times a week now.
What kind of therapy is that?
Oh, you don't want to know. You don't want to know. It involves like wooden slapper things and stuff.
Oh, that's good.
It's because I won't listen. I'm really stubborn.
Yeah.
I won't be told. So
Are you a peg boy?
there's a
Ooh.
fuck off. No one
Does
knows.
anyone even know what that is? What a peg boy is? Anybody have any idea what a peg boy is?
I do.
Yeah, I can tell by your reaction.
No, it wasn't that reaction. I know what in Wing Chun.
Okay.
Is that martial art?
Yeah, we'll have like a wooden peg or a wooden man.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
No. What I'm thinking is it's going to go in the gutter again, isn't it? I can see it.
Oh, it is. It certainly
It
is.
really is. I'm pretty sure I know where you're coming from, Carl.
It is. So back in the day on the pirate ships, on certain ships or whatever, they had their little deck boys, basically. They had their deck boys that were their kind of play toys. And they called them peg boys because they would have them. Yeah. You can figure it out from there to exercise themselves. Weird stuff they did back in the day. Even the Romans were dirty, filthy, creepy pedophiles.
Well, this is where it all come from, because the Romans were all. This is why we've got all these transgender problems now, because the Romans run everything.
Oh man, don't listen. I've already gotten backlash from all this stuff. We're not going to do this. We're not going to bash anybody for their choices. We're not going to do that. I don't do that here.
Hold on a minute. We ain't got a choice. We're here.
Right.
What more do you want me to say? How do you want me to say it?
Oh,
I don't want to get into putting down anybody for their sexual.
Nobody's putting anything homosexual, nothing at all like that. I'm just saying, okay, Roman baths were no different to Turkish baths. In fact, a Turkish bath was probably a Roman bath, and anything went.
Do you know there's a bath? There's an old Roman bathhouse about a mile from this place.
Where? Which place?
On the A29.
Oh, where you are?
Yeah, I live on the edge of a Roman road.
I've only ever seen a Turkish bathhouse in the city.
Well, believe me,
years ago,
there was a lot of man loving going on in the baths. Let's just leave it at that. Do you know what I mean? There was no soap on the rope.
Yeah, for sure.
It was flying everywhere.
That brings me to my first social topic of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Men wearing Speedos in public.
God's truth.
This can't happen. It just can't happen anymore.
Has that happened today?
I saw a guy when I was driving my car home. I took a loop around, like down kind of close to the beach, but not like incredibly close. And I saw a gentleman who was not very young, right? In age. And he was just, out there with his little blue Speedo on, his flip-flops and his silly little glasses.
Do you know what we call them in England?
What do you call them?
Budgie smugglers.
What do you call them?
Budgie smugglers. They're called budgie smugglers, basically, because of the thing.
Yeah.
Shows up too much.
Shows up far too much, yeah. So
we're not French.
There shouldn't be. No, it wasn't French. It was Italians with the Speedos, weren't it?
Yeah, but in France, you're not allowed to wear anything but Speedos in any of their swimming pools. You know that?
What?
Hold on a minute. Why is that? In case you're conceding a deadly weapon?
I have no idea why it is, but it's the truth.
Well, if you're concealing a deadly weapon, a Speedo is not going to help conceal it any better.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They've made everybody go into Speedos because too many people coming in board shorts with deadly weapons inside.
Could be, yeah. But it's been going on a long time. I think pre-terrorism. Yeah, the French love it.
You're going to start me off, aren't you, with it?
Sorry.
It's just not okay, man. I'm sorry.
I'll say it as it is, right? There is no requirement at all ever to see a man in Speedos, ever, as far as I'm concerned. Now,
right.
How about a man in Speedos with slip-on shoes? Unnecessary.
What's that about?
What is that about? I have no idea. I've seen it once and I just went, you want to hurt him. Stop that.
Do you know the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in a public pool? A guy came in.
Don't tell me that story again, Ben.
No, this is
okay.
Not
on here, Ben. Not on here.
This is okay for the show.
All right, that one. All right.
The guy came in the pool. He was dragging about 14 foot of toilet roll, and then he just dived in.
Class act.
Yeah.
He just what?
The guy walked in the pool. He was dragging about 14 foot of toilet roll behind him, and then he just dived in.
How do they do these things? It's like watching an advert. It's like watching a comedy show, isn't it? It's like a whole setup. Oh
Yeah,
no,
I saw it. I saw it. I had to get out. I didn't even get in the pool. When I saw that, I just removed myself.
Get out.
Wait. I'm confused.
The man's got out of the pool. Yeah.
No, he went. The man's obviously come out the toilet, gone to go in the pool.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Out the back of his swimming trunks is hanging
some tissue.
Hell of a lot of bog roll.
So the tissue is attached to his swimming trunks. He doesn't know, like a lot of women. So off he goes, yeah. It's like the woman that comes out the toilet that doesn't realise she's stuck a skirt in when she's doing all this and fidgeting getting out of there. She doesn't really
I've seen that.
She shoved a skirt in her knickers. That one.
I've seen that.
Well, I don't never tell them. I just follow them.
No, I seen it. It was actually my parents' neighbor. She lives 3 houses down the road. And
is that the one you got arrested for?
No. I saw her at the gas station with her skirt tucked in the back of her pantyhose, and I literally just sat there and laughed. Like sorry, not going to tell you.
Pantyhose.
That's a difficult thing to do. It's like you're going to go up to her and go, "Hey, by the way."
I think it's all staged. I think they want attention.
Well, not every female's out there searching for attention like that. I mean,
well, come on.
Not everyone.
You got to think about it.
E-Rev says flip-flops on a motorcycle. Let me tell you something. If
that's ridiculous.
Moron wears
flip-flops
while they're riding a motorcycle, they deserve to have their foot ripped off. That's insanity.
Okay. In the south of England, you will see, I'm not joking you, on a sports bike, somebody just wearing a pair of board shorts or a pair of Speedos with no shoes on, no top, or just a helmet. That's basically what you'd see, wouldn't you, Ben?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
No, that's what it is. That's what it's like. It's mental.
That's insanity, man.
And if you
ride a freaking motorcycle.
If you go on the council estates, you see it's just anything goes. I mean, it's just nuts.
That's crazy.
We'll have people naked, car surfing on top of the roof of cars, going down the street. Anything goes. Anything. It's just absolutely mental. People go, can't wait to go England. You've never seen out like it. It's mental. Stay where you are.
I'll tell you what, if you really want to, it's good to visit the valleys, isn't it? Fresh.
Oh, my word.
You ever been to the valleys, Fresh?
Have you ever seen the odd job boy of Clitheroe? Have you ever seen that?
No, I haven't. No.
You've not seen it?
No.
Kyle, I'm going to send you a link to this bloke in England, right?
Did you ever see Valley Cops, Fresh?
I beg your pardon?
Valley Cops, it was called. It was about the old Bill in and around the valleys and the stuff that they saw.
Hold on a minute. Is that the TV series?
Yeah.
No. This is not a documentary. Not like a TV series like where it's all got actors in it. This is Alfie, the odd job man of Clitheroe.
Right.
And I'm talking about Kyle seeing different weird stuff from the UK and stuff, and people will probably think, can't wait to go England. Look at London. No, it's not just London, and you only see everything they want to show you, and all they want to show you is that what they want to show you is to get you there so they can keep you under the cameras to try and keep you safe, but you probably get stabbed up anyway. And then they just want all the money off you. Then it's get out. You've been here too long. Your visa's out. Ta-da, off you go. It's that kind of affair, yeah. But when you get outside and you see the villages, it is absolutely fascinating.
That's where
no, it's fascinating. So one of the research guys in my group, his name's Ian, and what Ian does, he goes off. He's a photographer, and he thoroughly enjoys. He's done it for years. He goes around the whole of the British Isles, filming all of the weird pagan traditional events where you see the real weird stuff, like Wickerman, like the village. Everything going off in the village. Nobody's allowed in the village. and they all have to come out in crows costumes.
Yeah.
With crows' heads on, yeah? And then things have to be sacrificed. And then you've got the most mental things in the world, like he does all the, do you know the cheese rolling competition?
Yeah, I've seen that going off. Wow. I mean, that girl that won this year, she's busted every bone, mate.
Have you ever seen this, Kyle?
The cheese rolling?
Yeah. Have you ever seen the Gloucestershire cheese rolling competition and how just mental people are in England?
Oh, you got to watch it.
Do you know what?
I've never seen that. No, we have butter sculpture carving competitions in this country.
No, this is
Kyle,
this is mental.
They chuck a cheese down a
You've got a hill like this, yeah. That's basically, I'm not joking you. It's like this.
Yeah.
And that's not pushing it, is it?
No.
And you have a massive load of people at the top of it, and one guy in the middle, and this is tradition, is all in his whites, the cheese maker, then rolls the cheese that's round down the hill. And they all just leave the spot and literally go, I'm after the cheese, and boom!
They just leap off. It's like lemmings off a cliff.
And you've never seen anything like it. It's literally, they just go wallop. It'd be really good, actually, if you could find this on YouTube and stream a bit of it so everybody could see what it is, because then have some relevance of what it is. Because these things are really, really cool.
Okay, hold on.
If we could do that, that would be fantastic, and people would be able to, because I can't do that from here, obviously.
We could do that.
I might be able to reenact it.
We could do that. Hold on.
You wait till you see this. It makes butter carving look like knitting with cotton wool.
It is insanity.
Knitting with cotton wool.
There is a particular young lady on there. I think she's 3 years champ in a row. She has bust everything: collarbones, arms, you name it.
Yeah,
just cartwheeling down this hill like a snowball.
How many we got in the chat this evening? Oh my word.
15.
Wow, that's it. So we've lost 7. I don't know, we go 7 to 21.
Oh boy, this is
that's English. That's English people for you. That's what we do.
Oh, yeah? They're stupid. Oh boy, yeah, we got to share this. Hold on,
it's absolutely crazy. You know, you can't actually believe what these people do.
And no, you can't. And guess what you get? A roll of cheese.
Just a cheese, just some cheese. You get no. Hold on a minute. You get a certificate.
You do. It's been going on hundreds of years. It's very, very cool.
And have you seen the ones with the where they do? Oh my god, it's absolutely insane. Where they've got the ball, then they play like it's a big leather ball, and they kick it into the town centre, and it's an all for nothing. Just it's crazy, and it's the person who's got the ball last.
No, I haven't seen that.
And they're kicking the shit out of each other and everything. It's just it's mental. It's macabre. It's brutal, and the police are just standing there going, "It's a lovely game." There's ears flying off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You ready?
There's bits coming off. Yeah.
Here we go. Here comes the cheese rolling. You ready?
Which is pretty much as described.
Well,
this is what we do in England for fun.
Oh, Superman's down. Superman's down.
Magic!
Yeah.
Mr. Miyagi is injured. Mr. Miyagi is injured.
I was up there yesterday having a photo of them. Listen.
Crazy.
Look at these buffoons. Look at this dude. Look at him. Look at him.
Whoa!
See the girl there in the black. She's the
champion. Here she goes. Oh God.
That one there. That
look
girl's
at her.
The champion.
She what?
She's the champion.
Who's
The one who was
champ?
just like smacking her head against the
Yeah,
ground over
she
and over.
goes like that all the way to
she's
the bottom.
one. Yeah, she's the one.
Oh, look at her. Oh, boy.
Oh, that's agony. Oh, curtain up.
It's crazy, absolutely crazy. And what they have to do,
look at she got her
There
cheese,
she
though.
is. There
it's
she
all
is.
about the cheese. It's all about the cheese. There she got chaos
Look
on the
at
hill.
this. Look
That
at
is-
this.
Look at this guy. at the
Yeah.
front.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, that was definitely a nice landing. Yeah.
You see,
Look
this
at
is what,
these
this is what
people.
we're up against. This is what you do in England.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus. He just got freaking tattooed. Look
That is
at
chaos.
It's
That is
mental.
chaos on the streets.
It
Look
is
at his
absolutely
feet. His feet were
priceless.
moving faster than sound.
You see, it's
Yeah.
like Kyle, it's like cartoon feet, yeah.
Why are they tackling them?
They're
What
trying to
it
stop
is,
them at the
because
bottom, I think. Slow
if
them
you
down.
don't stop them, they just become a human missile at the bottom. So
Yeah.
just watch. Just watch. You see the.
Look at how fast their feet are going. Look at you. This is how. And those are rugby players out there
Yeah, they're rugby players at the bottom to try and catch these people that go.
who are just absolutely destroying these folks. They're already
Yeah.
banged up when they get to the bottom, and then they got a whole rugby team. That's
Yeah, they've
down
got a whole
there.
rugby team that just takes them down like a solid concrete wall. Boom! Watch. It's really
Look at
nasty.
these. Look at these idiots.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. Look
Whoop,
at
whoop, whoop, whoa. Oh my God. That
Wow.
is insanity.
it is.
Yeah.
Insanity. Oh, that was wonderful. That's what
That's a
that
bit of
was.
cheese rolling for you.
I thought, do you know what, Kyle? I thought if something's going to make him laugh today, it's going to be a bit of cheese rolling from Gloucester.
Good Lord. That was nuts.
Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it?
That was
good.
nuts.
So my friend, he goes around and films all these things like it's a tradition thing. So they do it every year. And every weekend, there's always a different event. Like you get scarecrow events and
Hello, Bernie.
all sorts of weird kind of just events that are just absolutely bonkers. They really are insane, and people get seriously hurt. I mean, people have died on that hill, you know?
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
I can imagine. Yeah.
And the amount of injuries, because it's become such a big business, and all the health in the UK is slowly getting privatised. You can imagine the amount of like tenders for contracts go out just for that hill per annum to private security, private health staff.
I can't imagine that
You know.
around that time the HMOs are like going to even want to sign anybody up because they know what they're getting into. They're like, oh, they're all here getting their new policies because of that damn cheese rolling competition. Don't sign them up because we're guaranteed to be paying for a severed spine somewhere.
Well, there's a. I'm just trying to think what the other one.
I think you sign a waiver when you go in. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
you have to sign a waiver, to be
to
honest.
say
with
that
you.
if you perish, it's your own fault.
That's insane, man. That is insane. I mean, we have some funny, some weird ritualistic stuff that goes on over here. But
Okay,
I'm not
here's
sure
what-
we have anything quite like that.
Okay, here's one for you, Kyle. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you put Atherstone ball game in, so this is what he did. Atherstone ball game. Let me put it in the chat.
What is it? Aveston?
Atherstone. So if it's just spell it ATHER. Atherstone. STONE.
Avestone.
So other stone ball game, and if you put other stone ball game in 2023, this is another one that Ian goes and photographs. and it is absolutely. Well, just watch it, and this goes on in this. It's just mental. This is why everybody's scared of the English, yeah, because of this mentalness. Because it's nuts. It's just nuts.
Atherstone ball.
Yeah, Atherstone ball game 2023. Atherstone ball game 2023. So this is just another tradition that's in the UK that they do every year and have done for hundreds of years.
I think when the cheese rolling started, they must have been pretty hungry.
Do you reckon?
Something like that.
Well, I'd just say that the level of intelligence hasn't changed.
No.
You know, you can't say there's something in the water in Gloucester. They're just mental.
Yeah, no, they are. I know.
But no, the thing is now the Gloucestershire cheese rolling has now attracted people from all over the world.
Yeah,
we've got people turning up from New Zealand, Australia.
Right. I don't know. I'm not going to show that one. That one looks a little too violent.
But you
I'll
see,
probably get my video taken down. Yeah. This is. But see what you have there, that ball game thing. This is what the idiots in this country do when their favorite team wins a championship.
Yeah, I've seen it.
They burn a city. They burn a city down.
I know.
They're so excited. They burn their own city to the ground.
It's crazy.
We're so excited for Chicago Blackhawks won the Stanley Cup. Let's burn this place to the ground. Yeah. I mean, what the fuck?
This is what we're dealing with, surrounded by this kind of mentality. That's why there needs to be a call. Sorry about that.
There should be. I think I think the purge should be a real thing.
Oh yeah, it should be an afflicted thing. It should be an angry thing.
Yeah. Yep, one day a year you should be able to go out and cleanse this place.
Yeah.
Of all these people.
But hold on a minute. You need to have levels of it. You need to have. I want to be an equalizer. You can be a cleanser, an equalizer. There's nobody above an equalizer. I'm the equalizer. Cleanser.
This sounds like a game you played with your friends when you were 6. Oh no! I'm the equalizer. Nobody's better than
I'm the best.
I'm the equalizer.
God damn it! Yeah, I gotta be the equalizer, mofo.
Denzel's the equalizer.
It used to be.
Now.
No, the equalizer actually is a copy from an old 1970s, actually 1980s English program.
You
English
are
series,
very correct. Yeah, you're talking.
Which was called the Equalizer.
Edward Woodward.
And it had Edward Woodward in it, and it was called.
What's his name? Edward Woodward.
Edward Woodward.
And he was middle-aged. He wore a long beige coat, and he had a black pair of gloves.
Yeah, that's it. That's
what every good murderer has, a black pair of gloves.
I've just got a flat cap.
Agreed.
I've just got a flat cap and a coat that's like that. I've just got to get the other bits.
Well, you make up for it with your scarf, though.
Kyle. He used to go round in a Jag.
Yeah.
Who did?
Jag.
Edward Woodward, the Equalizer.
His name is just baffling me. Edward Woodward.
Woodward.
Yeah.
It's fun to say, Edward Woodward.
You try saying that once you've had a drink. It's like trying to get somebody to say, shut down the shutters and sit in the shop.
Shut down the shutters and sit in the shop.
What was the other one? What's another good one, Benjamin?
She screams, I scream on the seashore.
That's rubbish. Right.
Oh, E-Rev. Listen, E-Rev says, I don't get on roller coasters and the like. I'm always hawkeyeing some rusty, unserviced bolt or something on equipment. Let me tell you something. My mom will also, she can vouch for this. When I was a kid, we went to Disney and we went on the runaway train. And I was on the inside of the car, and for whatever reason, the harness thing, it just wasn't holding me. So I was sliding out of this thing. She's trying to hold me in,
I
like
tell you
keeping
what,
me from
this is crazy.
just see you later, bye.
What ride was it? What ride was it?
The runaway train.
Runaway train.
Yep.
Do you know what, Kyle? I had exactly the same thing with my youngest daughter on a machine called the Twister. I don't know if you have that in America.
Probably have something like it with just a different name.
It's kind of like it's a pivoted thing in the middle, and it's like a triangle. And
Yeah.
it comes round and the carriage twists. You know what I'm on about, don't you?
Yeah.
And it twists and it comes out and it goes boom like that and boom and like this boom boom.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And it goes up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My daughter's on that and I'm hanging onto it as she's slipped through the whole thing. So I'm literally holding onto her arms, yeah, as the thing's flinging backwards and forwards, and I can't get myself sorted out enough for it to stop, so I can pull against something to pull her back up. Oh man, it absolutely dried. Oh, I was shouting, you know, stop the ride, you know, shout, just like the top of my voice.
Yeah.
In just one moment, I just managed to get her and pull her back through the things, but it scared the living shit out of me. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not big on those rides. I mean, after that, it kind of ruined it for me. And then if you've ever seen, there's the pendulum. You ever seen the pendulum?
Yes.
Big, giant circle.
Yes.
Everyone sits in seats on the outside of it. And there's a big, giant post in the middle. Yeah, and so it spins and it swings.
Yeah.
And it swings and it spins and it flips upside down. And I mean, it's massively big.
It is.
And I remember standing there and I'm watching this thing, and there's this guy who I'm looking at him and I'm going, oh boy, this is not gonna end well for the people sitting next to him. And you could tell he was getting, oh man, you could tell he was getting sick. And sure enough, man, he just went, wah! And because of it spinning and the gravity, it all went wah! Like wrapped around all the people sitting next to him. And then you had person after person going, that was at Six Flags, man. Oh, it was terrible.
What was that thing called in the UK? It's like a spinning cage. There used to be a thing called a cage. Remember that, Ben? It goes round like that, then it comes up on an arm, then it comes back down. Yeah. It comes up on this arm.
Yeah. No, that's not the Gravitron.
No, it's called the gravity wheel.
Yeah, okay.
You know what it is, don't you? The one where you force back onto the thing. It's the actual gravity wheel, yeah?
Yeah.
And I can remember being on a ride where my mates were next to me, and one of them was sick, but nobody else got it, and it kind of like went all the way round, and the next person next to him got it that wasn't our mate. Do you know what I mean? So it kind of like went a full rotation side of thing, and then it hit this person that was right next to me. It didn't hit anybody else. It was crazy.
I tell you what, it's funny because I've been on rides as well where one's been sick and it's hit him in the face, and then another one starts being sick because of the sick.
Yeah.
And it's like a continuum.
It becomes like a hurling Mexican wave.
Yeah, it's not nice.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Or someone's change comes out their pocket.
Bing!
That's a bad one, isn't it?
And it's just like spraying around like shrapnel.
You want to know what's fun? You want to know what's really fun? Riding a motorcycle and getting stuck in a hailstorm on a summer day, riding a motorcycle, and it's sunny outside when you start. So you go, you're on the highway, you're going off, you go down these back roads because that's the nicest places to ride. All of a sudden the sky turns really dark and you're on the highway and there's nowhere for you to pull off, and it starts hailing. And you're going 65 miles an hour and the hail's coming at you. It feels like you're getting shot with buckshot.
Yeah.
It's like you're just like ding 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 ding, and you're trying to keep the bike up, and it's like get me the fuck off this highway now. Oh, it's terrible. Terrible.
There's in England a couple of years ago, we got hit with the biggest hailstones you've ever seen.
Yeah, I think I might have seen this video actually. The size of baseballs.
It was incredible, and it destroyed absolutely everything in its path, from like cars, car windows, car bodies, people's homes, roofs, anything you can think of. Knocked people out in the street, killed people. It was just mental, and it lasted for about 3 hours of pure terror, and then that was it.
Rev is right. Some of our actions are just asking for it. I mean, how idiotic are we? Like the things that we do. You talking about storms. What about these guys that chase tornadoes and they're like want to drive their car into it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen one the other day. That had spent all this money on this unbelievable car that was like something from Star Wars. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
like Mad Max. Yeah,
Mad Max. That's it. I couldn't think of it. Yeah, wow, Mad Max. Yeah, nice one. And it's like zoom, zoom, and it's all plated up, and it's like probably does about 3 miles to a gallon. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think
Just,
they're hoping they're going to get a boost from the wind from the tornado. Big raindrops hurt when you're. They absolutely do.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you want to think about pain, when you skydive and you free fall through a rain cloud, yeah, the actual moisture cuts you.
It cuts you?
It basically, it's very, very tiny, but it's just unbelievable. I fall at terminal velocity at 122, 123. That's 122 miles an hour. But if you're tracking or something like that, then you can get your speed up to like from that up to 230, 240 miles an hour.
Yeah, no, I'm good, dude. I'm good. I'm all set.
And yeah, you go through the clouds and you go through the rain clouds, and it feels like you're being cut with razors.
Well, I can imagine going that fast.
Crazy.
It's like,
it's crazy.
Yeah. How about these guys with the squirrel suits?
They're basically, you've got your free jumpers. Basically, they're just.
Well, no, I'm talking about the suit they fly.
That's right. Yeah.
So have you ever seen the video where the guy is he's coming down through the valley and he's maneuvering and he goes to go under the bridge.
That's correct.
And he miscalculates it. And all you hear on the camera is dong.
Yeah. What about
it hits the steel beam?
Yeah, that's Jeb Corlius's mate.
No. Oh, it wasn't Jeb Corlius. It was his friend, but it wasn't Jeb.
Corlius's mate that used to jump.
Jeb's been screwed up a million times.
Jeff had an accident a year after he did the one with the cave where he went down the mountain and went through the archway.
He fucked all his leg up.
A year after that, he hit the deck.
It's incredible when you watch it. Like I watch it and I have a fear. I have a terrible fear of heights. I have a terrible fear of flying. But I see those suits and I go, wow, that looks really cool. Looks so fun. But then you see that happen and you go, yeah, no, it's definitely not. I'm good.
Well, it's basically the mecca for really doing base jumping. That's what it's called, base jumping.
Yeah.
It's building antenna, structure, earth. That's what base means, yeah? So when I said free jumping earlier, that's like free jumping. You jump off any one of them things with a chute and you just let it go. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the crazy things that people do there, that's not my kind of thing. The squirrel suit is my kind of thing, but I use a similar suit to that, but it's not so big and flared at the back.
Okay.
Right. It's very similar to that. It's got different parts in it to do for different things. It's so you can basically get more speed when you track, because that's the kind of shit that I like to do. I like doing freestyle stuff and messing about. There's never been a normal exit out of an aeroplane. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's not normal to jump out of a plane. To me, it's not normal to get in one. So
it's not standard practice. It's not.
Not standard practice at all. Yeah. Somebody could come to me. Somebody come to me tomorrow and go, "Hey, listen, I have a UFO. It's a working UFO. Do you want to go for a ride?
Yeah, too right, dude. Let's go.
And I would say, eat shit.
Oh, no, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I would. I'd
No,
say
you
each. I don't want anything to do with that thing. Nope. I'm
Well,
good. I don't even want to get in a jet, man. And never mind a UFO that can go, who God knows how fast, backwards, forwards, upside down, sideways, inside out.
That's probably going to be more safer than the jet.
It probably would be, but my fear level would be higher.
Speaking of jets, we had an F-15 crash today, didn't we?
You did.
What's that?
There was an F-15 came down and nosedived today. The guy survived.
Well, God bless him.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, it's amazing how quick that when it hits that, when they hit the rip to pull that seat, the ejector seat, the speed that they come out is something like 300.
Oh, it's insane.
300 some odd miles an hour.
It can pressurise the spine by 1 inch, apparently.
That's correct. Yeah, and if you,
it's a 3 time in a lifetime event. 3 times, and I think you're out.
Yeah, I mean, that canopy doesn't come off at the same time as your chair.
Well, you saw Top Gun. You look what happened to Goose.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a bit burning, don't you?
Look at what happened to
Goose,
Goose,
man. You're going to be in the neck
man.
brace for a bit, that's for sure.
Yeah.
How is everybody anyway? Is everybody all right or what?
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen, I think everybody's just trying to get a handle on what the frig's going on right now.
What, here?
Mike popped in, said he's been lost since the beginning of the show. It looks like he's left.
He's got a live going on anyway, I think.
Yeah, he'll be having a live. That's it.
He's got a live going on.
He'll be having a live anyway. Sunday night, it's Mike's live. And
Salty says
it's 12 o'clock. He's live, I think so.
Okay.
Salty said, "Oh, when you guys said squirrel suits, I thought you were going in another direction." Oh gosh,
yeah,
that's another one, man. The just weird shit people do. It's the people dressing up as animals, and it's just strange. People
yeah, I mean, if you had to go somewhere, say if you left this earth and you went somewhere else, and you met a complete stranger, and you explained the earth to them, what would you say?
I would hopefully I would have a video of inside Walmart on any given Saturday or Sunday afternoon with me, and I would say, this is what you're dealing with. Walmart is the place in America where you go.
The epicenter. It's the epicenter.
It's the epicenter of the
people watching.
Of people watching. The different types of freaks, weirdos that you find in a Walmart on a Saturday or Sunday it's incredible. But it would give them an idea and they would probably go, yeah, this is not the place we want it. We don't want to do any investigating here. Let's find somewhere else. Do you guys have carnivals in England? Do you have carnivals?
Yeah. We have some of the most outrageous things you've ever seen.
Okay, so in England, is it the same as America? The people who work at carnivals, we call them carnies, and they are some of the friggin' weirdest folks on the planet.
No,
they're usually like the drebs of society. Like they're on the fringe. They're like gypsies almost, basically.
Well, we don't have people like that, so to speak. We just have gypsies.
Yeah. Okay. So you just got the real deal. You got gypsies.
We've got real hardcore gypsies.
We have carnies.
But no, we have carnivals. I don't know if you know, but we are by square mile. These smallest countries have the most festivals worldwide.
I believe it.
Yeah, because we can't stop trying to get money out of people, yeah? And you can't even sell a festival anymore because people are sick and bored to death of festivals. But we have carnivals. So we have like Notting Hill Carnival. It's quite a massive carnival called Notting Hill.
Yeah.
And then we have like certain comedy festivals and things like this. which is just an accumulation of mentalness in its own merit. You'll see some very, very special people there. But if you really do want to watch the antithesis of society, I would say, and go from the whole broad spectrum, from the pond licking window cleaner to the big business banker, get yourself to Glastonbury. Don't take any drugs. Get a deck chair. Sit back.
That's where you're going to see it all.
You will see things there that will never ever be seen again and can't be explained.
Yeah, we've got places like that here. Kay said she grew up a carny, parents own concession stands. Yeah, the concession stands, though, to me, are not the same as some of the ride people and the game people. I think it's two totally different people, because the concession stands, I always felt, fairly safe going and getting a sausage and pepper grinder, or a steak and cheese, or some cheddar fries or something. But going to play a game with, Peter the pedo, with the 25-cent stuffed animals, and these guys were just always weird, creepy dudes, man, or women. Some of them were really creepy women, like they were scary.
I know what you're on about. So they're called fairs.
Fairs, yeah.
Fairs. Yeah. So when you're talking about this, so the arcades and the freaks, oh my God, you're right. Some of the people are like the Whitakers.
The Whitakers, yeah. Wow, that's the Whitakers.
That's what they're like. Yeah, I understand. I completely understand it.
The Whitakers, interesting stuff there, man. I'll tell you what, that guy's got such an interesting channel, Soft White Underbelly. If you've never watched it, it's really intriguing. He does such a great job on doing these human pieces, getting people who are just some of the most interesting folks you've ever seen in your life, and really doing a wonderful job at getting their stories out there. I mean, the Whitakers are an inbred family from West Virginia, from Hell, West Virginia, I believe is where they live. Hell, West Virginia, I think is where. And one of the brothers, Ray, doesn't talk. He doesn't talk at all. He just barks. He just barks and chirps like a dog. That's all he does.
It's crazy stuff.
And yeah, it's crazy, but I mean, it's amazing what he does. Really, it's just incredible stuff.
You can't even believe that these people exist. It's like you go. Can you imagine turning up somewhere in the middle of absolutely nowhere? You park your truck up, you go for miles and miles and miles into the wilderness. Bang! Watch it. It's the Whitakers.
Well, I would think if that was the case, it would probably. Have you ever seen The Hills Have Eyes?
Yes, yeah. I'm from there. That's me.
I would imagine if you were in a situation where you were lost somewhere and you walked for miles and miles and miles, and you pop out of the woods and the first group of people you see is the Whitakers, it's probably going to freak you out a little bit. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I just think it would be human nature where you go, oh shit, where the frig am I?
You wouldn't know.
A bit like some of the scenes from Deliverance.
Bit like it, yep.
Yeah, or you'd think what happens. What's that Australian film called? Where, oh God, what's it called? Wolf Creek. It's called Wolf Creek. We all saw Wolf Creek, haven't we?
I've never seen that.
Yeah, you have.
Nope.
It's an Australian film where the guys go off and they're looking forward to going all around Australia. Yeah. And they meet up with some other people. And they were saying that 58,000 people, that it starts with 58,000 people a year disappear from Australia. Backpacking. It's a backpacking film.
Never seen it.
Right. Was this about the murderer?
Yeah, that guy, that mental guy, guy.
Yeah, I did. I think I have seen it a long time back.
Well, if you've not seen that, you'll understand what I mean. So in that situation, you'd automatically think, Jesus Christ, am I going to end up, is this where it's going to end up? You know, I'm going to end up butchered. Yeah. You've seen the Whitakers split. They all jump off the chairs on the veranda, and they all split up. You're going to shit it. I don't care. I don't care who you are. Somebody's going to be dragging you
Yeah.
and biting you somewhere. You know what I mean? So yeah, interesting.
Interesting. So
Come
listen,
on. Yes.
we have gone an hour now talking about just about
Nonsense.
Absolute nonsense.
It's great, isn't it?
It is great. So this is what I want to do. Recently, I have. I think that there's a lot of videos, reported videos, and photographic evidence of Sasquatch reportedly out there. Digging through these to find the stuff that looks to be realistic, something you can kind of, trust and believe in, is a whole different story. There are a good handful, though, in my opinion, that are very believable. One of those pieces of film recently got shit on by Matt Moneymaker from the BFRO. This film, to me, is one of the most compelling pieces of video evidence that I think has ever been taken of a reported Sasquatch. And I think that the only reason that he said anything about it is because his video or picture, whatever he had that he had brought to the world, was proven to be a hoax. And a guy like that with an ego like that, they can't take it when they're wrong and they're not the center of attention. And so he goes about bashing other people's stuff. If you've ever watched Harley Hoffman and seen his interviews, this is a very, very simple guy. And I don't mean simple like stupid. I just mean he's simple. There's nothing about this guy that's like, would lead you to believe that he's doing anything funny or I don't think he had any intention of even filming one of these things. I think it just happened. And he was about as, surprised as anybody. But it's a piece of footage that, in my opinion, is one of the best pieces of footage ever. I'm going to play it real quick, and I want to see what everybody thinks of this. I'm sure some people have seen it before. If you have, please just bear with me. But I'll probably show a couple others too. Sorry, I got to pull it up. Bing, bing. Bing, bing, bing.
Are you all right, Ben? Because you've been very quiet tonight. I'm a little pimpernel.
I've been enjoying the chat.
Oh, is that what it is? You've been embracing the conversation. That's fine.
Okay, here we go.
I didn't know if he was going to input at any point and get the biscuits out or out.
Well, there may
Biscuits. Who's got biscuits?
Maybe.
I got some ginger nuts here.
Lovely.
Do like a ginger nut. It's quite stale, the air in here tonight. It's quite muggy tonight, I thought.
It is muggy here, yeah.
Yeah. I've only got this shirt on. There's nothing else on. I've only got this on.
Shit. Hold on.
I'm gonna have to put the full screen on here. I can't see. I can't see shit.
No, I got to do it over. Hold on.
I'm just going to crack the top door open. It is a bit muggy even in here.
Yes, get the stable door open, kid.
Add to stream. Full screen. And then
I've just had to turn the lights down a bit because I don't want the mozzies coming in here.
okay, can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is quite old, the Harley Hoffman footage, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not new. It's from
it's
mid
9 years old.
2000s. Yeah, mid to late 2000s, something like that.
Yeah. Have you seen that footage before?
Oh yeah.
Ben?
No, I haven't. No.
Ben? No.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Have you?
Pretty much. I wouldn't say, I can't say everything I've seen, but I've pretty much ripped everything to pieces, seen a lot of stuff, yeah.
Does look interesting, doesn't it?
Yeah. There's only that footage, and oh god, I can't think of his name. Of course, that Harley's spun me off the name because it's very similar. What's Kyle? You remember a while ago when we was talking? I said to you about the other footage that was probably one of the only compelling kind of footage, which was the mama, supposedly Mama Bigfoot with the massive tree, and she's put the baby into the hole in the tree, and she's ripping the bark off to get the bugs out.
Oh yeah, that's the Mississippi.
Yeah, I can't remember the guy's name.
I can't either.
Josh something, isn't it?
Hold on, I'll show it right now.
It's Josh something. I can't remember his name. But there's not much footage, is there? Let's be honest, you know.
There's a few. If you really look and you scour and you there's a few out there that to me seem really, really credible.
What's your automatic discredit? Like your
makes me automatically discredit it?
Yeah. So what's your?
I don't think I have an automatic discredit. I don't think I have an automatic. I don't think unless it's like so you know. If it's just a blurry spot in the woods, it's dark and it's not doing anything.
Yeah.
To me, I always have to go with, well, it's a stump or something. So there's no, and I'm not saying they move all the time, but you can't say it's a Sasquatch if there's no way to prove it's a Sasquatch, right? Even with these pieces of footage where that thing is clear as day. I mean, it's something, it's upright, it's moving, it's got hair all over it. Again, I can't say for sure it's Sasquatch, but what I can say is that the evidence points to it sure as shit looks like one.
Well, it's irregular for sure.
It's definitely irregular. Definitely irregular.
Hey, are you going into Halloween mode, Ben?
No, I did say I've just shut the lights off in the kitchen apart from the little lamps. Otherwise, I'm going to have this place filled with mozzies.
Well, do you know next time?
What's a mozzie?
Mosquito.
Mozzie.
Oh, you call them mozzies. Okay.
Yeah, I call them mozzies. Next time you do this then, Ben, I expect you to buy one of them little insect frying things, the blue lights, and that's.
I've got one. I've got one.
Well, put your light back on and put that on, please.
There's one plugged in over there now.
We'll put the light back on then. Well, I don't know what you're doing.
Fuck's sake.
No, there's no need to be like that. You're getting like Kyle. You're getting too big for your station again. Sit back down. That's it. Now we can see you. That's it. I can't see you before.
Sorry.
Don't know what you're doing. Don't know what your facial expressions are. Don't know how.
I'm sorry, viewers. I'm sorry.
We don't know if you're tired and bored or mardy.
No, I'm not tired tonight. I had a bit of a kip earlier, actually.
Oh, that's good. It's good to know. I haven't.
Yeah.
I've still got to get stuff out of the car before it gets robbed because there's a few £1,000s worth of kit in that people can see. Yeah.
What?
So
what?
Hey,
you have a few £1,000s of what?
Kit.
Kit?
Kit. Yeah, just kit in the car.
What is that?
Gear in the car. Just stuff like the gear.
Okay.
People can see like boxes of this and stuff. They don't know what's in it, but they'll just break.
I meant to ask, and I've not brought this up. How's Malcolm?
Oh, good question.
Do you know what? His name's fucking Storm. It's not Malcolm.
Well, you said he was Matt.
No. This what was going on. What was going on was this.
Yeah.
It was named Malcolm for about 13 minutes.
Right.
Until Storm come out, and then
can we not?
Daughter.
Would it just? I mean, I don't want to jump. Can we not just refer to him as Malcolm? Malcolm's a lovely name.
Yeah, but Malcolm's dead. I think it's not there. I think it's dead.
Well, who's Storm?
Storm is Malcolm, but he was left in the field abandoned. So these beautiful people brought him back. That was Malcolm. And then Malcolm, hold on a minute, I've not finished. Because Malcolm wasn't a real good name for him because he was found dying in a storm.
Right.
So the daughter went, I'll call it Storm. I think that's what killed it, knowing its name were going to be Storm and not Malcolm.
So it's died now?
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Oh.
I haven't seen it in the garden right like that. So I think it's brown bread. I think it's brown bread sunshine. I think it's gone right up the apple. It's gone right up the apple and pears.
That's a shame.
Yeah. No.
That is a shame.
It's terminal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Terminal. What's he doing with the screens of Banjo?
Oh, you're right.
Wrong button.
It's
He's not just around.
I think Kyle's manager's been down to bash him around the back of the head and say,
You've been demoted now, Fresh. You're on the bottom.
I don't care. I don't mind being on the bottom.
Okay.
As long as you don't push backwards, Ben.
Hold on.
There we go. That's better.
Well, that's it. All about me. All about me. That's it. Actually, to be honest with you, Kyle, you need that big screen to get your fucking fat head on, your big head. No,
there we go.
Yeah, that's fine.
Good. That's good. There.
Is there any more of our beautiful sausages in the chat? Because I've had to shut YouTube down.
Kay says the biggest thing for her to throw out a film is when she can't figure out why they had their cameras on in the first place.
That's exactly. So I was going to discuss. This is where I was going to go to.
That's interesting.
That was what my auto recognition is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you see some footage, and basically, why did you have that film out? Why were you taking pictures of, say, I don't know,
towel?
Yeah, a towel on some fence with spades, or
some trellis.
Like, say, just at that moment, you just see that one clip of what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like a literal slice of just that one thing. You don't see anything up beforehand, and you don't see anything afterwards. There's no fiber to what it actually is. It's kind of like we've edited it because that's your narrative. That's what we want you to believe in. That part.
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. This is what I say is like the most important part of if you claim to have a picture or a video of a Sasquatch, then you need to go back. You need to go back to that area at another date and take the same picture, the same video from the same place.
Yeah.
And if it's there, then it's not a Sasquatch. If it's not there, then you might have something, right?
Yeah.
Well,
you can find that thing.
You might
have something, but there's too much of this. Like, take a picture of something dark in the distance. Let me tell you the other thing. People always have this gripe about why are the pictures blurry? Why are they so blurry? We have all this technology. We have cameras with all these great. No, what you have is a phone that has a camera that's great for a phone. It's not a great camera. It's as far as cameras go, phone cameras suck ass. They are not meant to photograph nature or anything with different, with light. They can't separate. It just the second you zoom in on anything, it's blurry and pixelated instantly. Yeah. So that's number one. But to take a picture of something that's off in the distance.
Look, here's the size of one of my lenses. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, this does a special job. What's the size of a lens on a camera?
Minute.
Let's have a look at it. There you go. So when you try and do anything with it, it's already going to be problematic. It's amazing for just filming the kids and stuff like that. But we've got people believing that these cameras can do all this stuff, make fucking movies, films from them, for like Hollywood films. And they're just imbeciles because they're just being sold down the line.
Yeah.
Why do you think people use these size lenses for things, yeah, and spend thousands of pounds on kit to make movies?
Yeah. because it's that's what's meant to be done
No,
with
it
it.
wasn't, Kyle. No, they're stupid. What you're meant to use is a phone for your twat. You're meant to use a phone. Obviously, you're not meant to buy all this equipment. Why don't they just use a phone? They're stupid, aren't they?
I hope you're being sarcastic.
I am being sarcastic, of course I am.
All right. Sometimes I can't tell, but yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, why
No,
would
it's
why is a nature photographer out there with a friggin' lens that's 6 feet long that weighs 70 pounds, and the poor guy's
Yeah.
holding it up with every muscle in his he's shaking like this, trying to get one picture of a pelated
Exactly.
woodpecker, you know.
They need
Sounds
to get
like-
a close up of the robins.
You know, the tripod, even the stand for this lens is held all the way out here, yeah? Because the lens is that big. And then people get these cameras and they're expecting this little lens, like this little thing, to go all the way and get this amazing picture of this bird to see all of. God, it's crazy, man. And then,
Insanity.
Kyle, Ben, once it actually records that, it's only recording it to the size of the device size of what it's displaying. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you then start bringing it in and start editing it through different things, what are you going to lose?
You're gonna lose everything.
Because it's on a larger format. You can't shrink small. You can't increase small format.
They're good for shovel handles, though.
Into large. What
They're
for?
They're good for shovel handles.
What fork handles?
Well, shovels or fork handles, yeah, whatever they were, but they're good for those.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Yeah, I'm lost too.
I mean,
This is Ben's brain. This is Ben's brain. Again.
Sometimes you see the handles of a shovel next to a trellis.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know you was talking about. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Photographing shovels.
Yeah, photograph.
Yeah, I thought, okay, there. Yeah, all right. Now I understand what you're saying.
And curtains.
It's not meant to be that way. You even, I mean, if you see these real professional nature photographers with cameras that cost 30 grand, right? 30 grand, 40 grand. Some of these things cost. I mean, you're talking about the top of the line shit out there that is meant for that. And even they still, depending on what it is, where it is, how far away it is, sometimes you're still going to even get some of that color, mixing if it's far enough away. You cannot expect a phone. If I tell people this, I said this before. I said, go take your buddy out in the woods, right? Have him wear drab, green, brown, black, all colors just like that, right? Head to toe. Put him 60 to 80 yards away. Stand as still as you can and take a picture of him in those trees and tell me what you see.
Yeah.
Because he's just going to look like another blob in the woods.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to, what you're actually looking for in your eyes is things that you familiarize and recognize with yourself. I mean, do your eyes play tricks on you? I was going to do something tonight.
Of course they do. It's not natural. This is nature. Of course they do.
Yeah, but
pareidolia is literally a genetic thing. Like we've evolved to see things that make sense to us, that are normal to us.
It's all pre-programmed.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't look something that's not pre-programmed, that's going to scare the living crap out of you, because it's going to be completely unfilming and freak you out. It's very much the same as when all these people have all of these apparent Bigfoot sightings. When they talk about it and describe it, it's as if, like, I've been down the shops today and got some frozen peas.
Yeah, that bugs me too. If it's so matter of fact and it's not a big deal, I have an issue.
The first encounter would scare the living crap out of you. I don't care who you are.
It should freak you out, man.
It's gonna change everything. Yeah.
I love the it's so easy for some people to say, I'm not scared out there. You can't have any fear out there. The fuck, man? What are you, Indiana Jones?
You've got to have a certain level of fear. You know, Janelle has mentioned this before.
You have to.
You have to have. It's like me exiting a plane. It's like at any point, if I do not have a certain amount of fear, I am not going to perform and do what's expected at that point if I need to. Yeah, because it keeps me alert. It keeps me on my toes. It keeps me sharp. If you do not have fear or think or consider, be conscious of stuff, it means you're complacent.
Thank you.
And that means you're incompetent at times. Yeah. So we become a worst enemy for stuff like that, and it becomes an habitual pattern, doesn't it?
People used to ask me that, like when I used to fight, they go, "Aren't you scared?"
Yes.
Yeah, I'm scared.
Of course I am.
Shit, yeah. Every time I had a fight, I was in the back puking. Yeah, I'm scared.
The pugilist, the actual true pugilist, can control that, all that anxiety, all of that adrenaline, and be able to get calm. Yeah. Now, when you're fighting a pugilist like that, you need to be really worried.
Yeah, I mean, but even then, you learn how to deal with it. But it doesn't mean you're not scared. You're still scared. You just learn how to deal with it, and in a way that you can go out there and still compete. But shit, yeah, you're scared. And the day that you're not is the day you shouldn't be doing it anymore. You just shouldn't.
I think fear only exists though if it's knowing. Do you see what I mean? Because you know the consequence or what could happen. It's the same as in innocence of a child. A child doesn't see that they don't have any fear because they'll just step off something with a great big drop on it or whatever. Because
they don't understand the consequence of it.
Yeah, because there's no consequence to it because it's not been done.
So that's a good point. So for these folks out there who don't have any fear, it's because they're not really out there around these things.
We got that.
Just a guess.
I was just trying to get around it in a way of saying it without saying it. You know what I mean?
Just a guess. Just a guess. I agree. Kay says, I totally agree with thinking a person wouldn't be scared. Plus, now try to take a good film. Yeah, this is something I talked about before. How people get mad and they're like, why is the person shaking? Why didn't they go towards the creature? Well, let's see. Number one, they see a giant bipedal hominid covered in hair in the woods. They're probably not close to anybody else, right? They're maybe with one or two other people, but still, it doesn't matter because you're staring at something that's gigantic, covered in hair. You don't know what it is. You don't know what it's capable of. You don't know what it could do or what it is going to do. Why would you run towards that?
It's the same. It's exactly the same. And this is just a very, very weird example of the comparison. But if an African seen snow, it freaked them out. That's just snow.
Yeah.
And they'd just be like, fuck, what's this? Get it out. Yeah. This is just snow, not a great big 8-foot hairy monolith, mega beast. Yeah.
Yep.
So all these people that say, oh, yeah, I've seen it. And then just another, no, I don't think so. I'm not too sure about that. Yeah. Because it just doesn't feel right. You know what I mean?
I just have a hard time with it. I mean, I think that you could get to a point where you can control your emotions, but it doesn't mean you don't have them still, right? You still have them. You just learn how to control them in the situation. So you're not. Let me tell you what. When I'm out there and I hear stuff, right, that sounds strange, it sounds irregular, sounds like something walking on 2 feet, moving through the bushes, breaking shit as it goes. It doesn't sound small. It sounds extremely large. When I hear that, I get nervous. I mean, I get incredibly nervous. It's unnerving. It's scary because I can't see it, number one. I don't know if I saw it, if it would make it worse or better. I don't know. Probably worse. But it's the unknown. It's right. We have been programmed over the course of thousands of years now to fear the unknown, to fear the things we can't see, to fear the dark, because that was when the bad things came out and hunted.
It's always been sold to you this way through films. We're going back to this thing through horror movies and stuff like that. The things that go bump in the night, darkness, everything's to do with darkness. There's loads of horror stuff that's been made in woods, so you automatically scared. You fear the woods. You fear this. You fear that. Then you get apps out called whatever it was called recently, where you get all these horror things where they have to go and buy this app where these horror things are. Yeah, I can't even remember what it's called. You know what I'm saying, don't you, Ben?
Is it Blair Witch sort of thing?
No, not that. I'm on about these apps on the phone. It's
the
Rando Nautica.
Random Nautica, yeah. So we've just gone from one thing, sold it, business, and all the people that are doing all these are all buying into these ideas, you know, that this is what it is, this exists, or this, that, and the other, and you're actually paying for your own fear.
Well, I mean, I think that could be some of it, but I think you have to go back way further to how we've evolved. I mean, the uncanny valley theory.
Evolved. We ain't evolved. We've devolved. We've devolved. We've not evolved.
Listen, we have evolved from when we were just, knuckle dragging apes, right? We've evolved. We're further along than we were then, and during that time, the evolution, you get programmed to certain things. The uncanny valley theory is literally that. When something doesn't look quite right, it doesn't look like it's supposed to be there, you don't know what it is. These things, these beings look enough like us that most people see them and they go, shit, I can't shoot it, but what the hell is it?
What it does,
it looks human enough, but not quite all the way.
It's the doubt that stops anything going on further than what it was, and it probably would be the same thing as if something like this came to attack you. Yeah, you've got no training, so with weapons training or anything else like that, there's different ways of response. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking at trigger actions, you're looking at body language, you're looking at all these things, aren't you? But this is, you're dealing with human beings. So you can work all that out. When you're dealing with something that you can't work out, you don't know how to deal with something if you've never experienced or dealt with it before. You can only think, thanks, Hope. You can only try and deal with it in its own merit to what it is at that moment in time, can't you? Yeah?
Yeah.
And when people do tell about their experiences and stories and things like that, you know, I have to step outside the box. I'm always outside the box. And maybe I'm erring on the edge of skepticism because I really want to feel the story and know exactly where it is, you know. And the ones that you hear and the ones that you see that are backed up with video footage is just, that just one clip. Well, what were you doing? What were you doing at that time when you actually took that clip? Because it doesn't seem right. What were you actually doing?
I mean, I don't want to discredit somebody because they had a camera on in the woods. I mean, there's many reasons to have a camera on.
Not like that, but you know what I'm saying. It's like weird situations.
The weird situations, yeah, I get it.
Okay, let's just talk of one that I remember from quite a few years ago at a Christmas gathering. And they're in the house. There's a Christmas gathering, and you know
someone's filming out the back window.
Yeah.
Like it starts all in the house, and then somebody goes, "Oh, it's Sasquatch, yeah, yeah."
And it's outside the back, right?
And it's outside the back and starts.
The dogs barking.
Yeah. So, is that real or is that fake? Have a little chat about that. Have a little chat about that for a minute while I just put the kettle on. But is that real or is that fake? Think about what's going on at the time. Think about the dog barking and running out to it and stuff. Think about all these different things. Now, is that real or not? Is
Yeah,
is that some footage that you turn around and say, well, that's understandable, that's explainable because it's relative to what they were doing at the time, yeah? But just say, hold on a second, just say you're on a boat.
Shut up. Let me talk.
Well, I can still hear. I'm just going to put the kettle on. I need a coffee. I need a coffee for men like you.
Oh God. I think it's a weird thing, right? I think it's a weird thing. You're in the house, it's Christmas time, you're filming people opening presents or whatever, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, look, Sasquatch." And it's kind of strange. It doesn't seem quite right.
Yeah.
You know, there are plenty of other ones where it's like it's you know, they're turning their phone on because they didn't have it on, and then they see something and they're like, "Holy shit, what the hell is that?"
Yeah.
That seem much more real. Like one of my favorites is the turkey hunter footage. Have you ever seen that?
Do you think that's real?
The turkey hunter footage?
Yeah. Do you think that's real? With the woman hiding in the bush,
I 100% believe that's real.
and then they drop the turkey and picks it up.
But you know, it drops a deer and picks a baby up.
That's it. It's something draped over its arm, isn't it?
It's got a full-size deer draped over its arm like it's a purse.
Yeah, that's like it's just watching, yeah, putting the watching out.
It's carrying a 250-pound deer like a purse, man.
Yeah, I've always looked at that and thought, oh, that's got to be real. And then I was watching something the other day.
If you want to talk about everything that points to being real, then that video should be up there with the best of them, because you literally have a close-up of her eyes and her face, and you can see her pupils dilate. You can see her eyes bouncing back and forth. You can see every fear response possible in the face is happening right there, and you're this close to it.
Yeah,
it's hard to fake that.
Okay, so at that point then, when you've seen that, would you say that was human looking or ape looking? Because you can't really tell, can you?
Hard to tell because, again, so here's the weird part, right?
Yeah.
Looking at that video,
yeah,
they seem to take on the color of everything around them in that video.
I don't think excuse me, the device that she's recording on isn't that very good quality, number one.
It's not. It's shit quality.
It's very shit quality. It's off an old handset or something. So that fundamentally stops the real, not credibility of it, because we're in the same realm again of it's not clear, concise evidence. We know that, and we know all of this. But it either has to be believable, or we discredit and debunk it and put it to one side, because there's so many things that makes it stand out as a hoax, and we know what they are. You know.
Yeah, that one I don't feel that way with that one.
There's so much stuff that's framed and frameworked up, and one minute it's there, and the next minute, oh, there it is there, you know.
I mean, like, let's talk about one of the people here who everybody knows has been accused of being one of the biggest hoaxers on the planet. It's Todd Standing. That video that he has of those two, the real close-up shots of the two, the one that looks like a fucking Muppet.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
the one that looks like a Muppet.
The one that looks like an Ewok.
Yeah, the Ewok. No, it's not even an Ewok. If it's like an Ewok's like inbred brother is what it looks like.
Yeah.
And then the other one, which clearly to me looks to be CGI. There's just something about it that doesn't. This is the thing that I say too. If you have a picture of something or a video of something that's alive, there's something about something that's real and alive that makes it look alive.
It's like that
twinkle. It has life in it.
It's like you get that twinkle in the eye. You get that glint.
It's I don't know what it is. It's that je ne sais quoi it's that thing that you can't put a name to, but when something's alive and it's real, you can tell. that film that he has of those two things, I don't see life in either of them. I see a computer generated image that's that's good, but it's poor because when it blinks its eyes, it looks very robotic. And then the other thing doesn't blink at all, doesn't do anything. It just stands there with those dead eyes. The hair looks fake. It's weird. It like starts here and it's like has this weird edge and even some of this recent shit that's come out. I'm sorry, I don't see any life in it. It doesn't look alive to me at all.
No. You either know or you don't know.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying. You if that feeling's there, don't kid yourself. You know.
Yeah. Don't listen to your gut.
Listen to your gut. Don't stop doubting yourself because you want to. You want to believe in the dream of the hope and the love that it's all real. Yeah.
Amen. It's not all real.
You fall in love with it. It's like what's the saying? The thought of being in. Oh, what's the saying? I can't think. Something to do with you're not in love.
You're in love with the thought of being in love.
In love with the thought of being. Yeah, that's it. So it's very similar in this situation, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Very similar.
Very similar indeed. And before you know it, we've gone way off track and seeing, things popping out of the end of leaves and things like that are 12 foot.
Yeah.
And they're coming out broadside and they've got ham sandwich and stuff.
Kay said Todd Standing putting out that work hurt everything he ever did. One thing that I always say about Todd is it's so unfortunate that he did that because I believe Todd had real footage.
Well, it's like somebody else. It's like somebody else, isn't it?
Huh?
It's like somebody else.
Yeah, potentially, yeah. But I believe Todd had real footage. Some of the shit that he's filmed to me looked very real. That one running up the hillside, it was like a 60-degree hill. I don't know how it's possible for anyone to run up a 60-degree hill. Not a human could do that. And it was all soft. You could see where it was sliding, and whatever that was scaled that hill so fast. And then doing the I'm
not too sure about that one myself because that could be also if you was at an angle opposite and your camera was angled at a specific angle, that angle would look a lot more of an ascent than what it actually is.
See, I disagree. If you ever film a hill in the woods with your camera, one thing that's so hard to show is how steep a hill is, unless you're standing at the top of it looking down. And even then, it's hard to really capture just how steep and far down that thing goes. In that video, you could tell by the way that the way that the trees were pitched, the way that the thing was walking, that was a very, very steep hill. It was so. I mean, just when it took its footsteps, you could see the way it was moving and how the trees were. It was crazy.
It was a very steep hill, wasn't it? To be faked. That. We're talking about the hill where it ran up the hill, the other ravine, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It would be if you tried that or I tried that, you would be struggling. You'd be digging your hands in, trying to get up and sliding down. Yeah. You could see the dirt sliding under its feet, and it was still moving up that hill.
Yeah. No,
you have to think about the strength of certain things when you go to do a certain thing in your anatomical movement. Yeah.
Here comes the doctor.
And you push upwards, then everything is combined by 2 because you're at more of a height. It's getting harder for you. When you're at a gradient as well, that increases things on the cardiovascular because it's ascent training, aren't you? Yeah. So it's a lot more tougher. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. So to carry yourself up like that with so much power in full anatomical movement means that you've got the power to do it. It's not a struggle.
Yeah, And it did go up there like it wasn't a struggle, didn't it?
It was nothing.
I kind of understand that as well. But I just on that, there's a few things I'm on the fence a little bit about stuff like that because of camera angles. It's not looking down and it's not looking up. It's looking across and it's looking downwards. Yeah.
But you can still tell, because if you look at that video, you can tell the angle of that hill just by the way the trees are.
It's vertical.
Yeah, by the way the trees are coming out of it, and by
it looks it. That's what I'm saying. It looks it from that angle. Yeah, but if you I wonder if you did take it from another angle. You looked from another angle. I wonder if
it's not. You're wrong at this one. It's not.
Yeah,
This thing is on a fucking sharp decline.
Yeah. And don't forget as well that whenever you film a decline or ascent on any phone or device or camera, it smooths it out.
It smooths it out. And you could still tell on this video that that was what to me was remarkable, because I stood at the top of a ledge that was a straight drop and filmed from the top to the bottom, and it looked like it was this tiny little thing, like it was no big deal.
Yeah.
I tried to get people to understand how big this was, and I'm like, how the hell do I do this? Like, I can't. It's not telling me anything from this picture.
Yeah.
But that video, you could see it.
I think Todd Standing's videos at that point weren't actually made by cheap equipment. They're made by very expensive equipment, and that's why I also questioned the authenticity of certain things when we've had such high quality equipment with a man that's just ended up in the mountains.
Todd has shown his equipment before. I mean, it doesn't have anything that's super expensive. Even back then, his friggin' his night vision camera. He literally taped the scope onto a handy cam, taped it on a night vision scope. I mean, the guy didn't have a ton of equipment back then. Well, I'm going to tell you something. I fully believe that he's hoaxed. Those two videos. The real clear ones, they're bullshit. They're just, I'm telling you right now, there's nothing about them that seems real to me. They don't look real. They don't look alive. They look fake. There's no life in them. That video of the hill climber and the other video where the thing ducks down behind the rocks, woo, and you can still see the shoulders that stick out from behind that rock. To me, those were real. Todd is in an area that he doesn't need to fake. That's the problem. He doesn't need to fake. If he has patience and he continued to do what he was doing, he would probably get wonderful evidence. Maybe he wouldn't get those close-up shots that he had, or that he wanted, but he would get amazing evidence that, because he's in an area where these things live. I mean, it's been documented over and over. He's in some of the remotest, craziest land in North America, and he goes out there by himself. I give him credit because he goes out there by himself. He does it all goddamn time. What happens, I think, people get so overzealous, and he wanted so badly to pass that law to protect them in the Canadian court system that he did this bullshit to try to get that law passed. That's what I think he did it for. Maybe wrong, but whatever the reason, I just think he got overzealous because he didn't need to. I even believe. I mean, Dr. Meldrum was out there with him, and so was Bindernagel, and they said that they saw something run across a hillside across from where they were camping at. Something bipedal, and they were there with Todd. They knew where Todd was, so it wasn't him.
Yeah. And
I mean, I put way more trust in Bindernagel than I do Meldrum when it comes to that stuff. But
yeah, I mean, it's all up for.
There seems to be a common theme, doesn't there, among some of the greats, that they get to a certain level in their research, and then for whatever reason, something just tips over the balance.
So, it's tough,
In which-
man.
In which
think-
way? In which way, Ben? Which way you explain it? 'Cause it's in your head.
Well, what I mean is that they're doing great things. The research is great. It's all going very well. Just stay on the path, and then suddenly something comes up, and you think, "What's happened?"
You mean what you're trying to say there is, hold on a minute, the narrative's changed again. Is that what you mean, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, let's go back.
What he's saying, I think, is that they're doing good work. They're putting out, real stuff, right?
That's it. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, here comes the bullshit.
Yes, that's
One
my point.
day, the switch flips,
Yeah,
and
that's
they go from real researcher
yeah.
with integrity to
It's tipped them
full-blown
over.
hoaxer.
Yeah.
What does it actually say to you? Are they actually doing this at this point to say, how far do you want us to go with this before you wake up and realise that we're all taking the mick out of you? Is it that?
I'm not sure, Fresh, because I think that to a certain point, a lot of the stuff they research is fantastic and they're bringing it and I love it. And then suddenly something comes out the blue and it tips over. That's all I'm saying. I don't know
What drives it?
No.
We need to talk, Ben, tomorrow.
I think a lot of times, like in this community, it's difficult. Number one, because the nature of this topic is
it's toxic. It's toxic at times.
It's
isn't it?
very, very difficult to do. You have to have mega time, mega patience. You just have to. That's the way this works for the most part. Most people don't.
Sorry, Carl. Go on.
No, it's okay. Go ahead, buddy.
I was just saying, there's someone that's been in the chat tonight, and I just want to put this point across that they've texted me and said this was to do with the fear issue. Okay, someone we all know and love. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not scared of Sasquatch at all. If one rushed me and didn't attack me, I would look down, apologise, and leave the area. Call me crazy, but that's what I would do. If it kills me, oh well, otherwise it probably just wants me gone. I'm out there, I have seen them, I've had them walk through camp, made my body vibrate, etc. I just smile. I'm scared of spiders and lightning, not even a gun put in my face scared me. I just wanted to put that out there. Someone's texted me and I'm going to keep them in the background. You guys know who it is, I'm sure. But I just wanted to...
Look, we all have different opinions.
That's it.
Until either the inevitable happens or you've experienced something.
Here's what I say all the time. It's a different thing to hear them around. It's a different thing to hear them, and then it's totally different to be 30 yards from one, screaming at you, throwing his hands in the air, stomping on the ground, 9 feet tall, 10 feet tall, 1,000 pounds, teeth the size of dominoes that can fit a melon in its mouth.
But you can't see it.
No, I'm saying you can. I'm saying seeing it, coming face to face with it. At that point, I don't care if you don't have fear. If there's no lick of fear in you at that point, then you may need medicine.
Well,
who's not going to? Why would you not be afraid?
I speak for myself. I'm quite fearless.
So am I.
Yeah,
the shit that I've done in my life. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
But when it comes down to something unknown in front of you, you stop in your tracks. I'm sorry, but you just do. You have to. Your mind goes into a calculation mode of so many different scenarios, depending if you've got experience. So
yeah. It's not even a conscious thing.
Right. Can I just?
It's automatic. It's all automatic.
It's automatic.
All automatic.
Right.
Yeah.
Fresh, you've just hit the nail on the head on this. You said from experience. What about some of the people that have experienced these things and become quite familiar with them?
Oh, dear me. Well, let's just say that there's been many of these people come forward, and many have been proven to be incorrect, let's say. Yeah?
Yeah.
I won't say anything else, just incorrect, let's just
Yeah.
say. And
It's going all right.
Yeah,
You all right?
yeah, it's all right. He's probably enjoying the zoot and ting, you know.
No, I was just putting you guys front and center for a minute.
No, you weren't. Stop lying.
Yeah, I was.
He's such a con artist. He is. He's such a geezer.
Anyway, that was the point I wanted to make. What about the people that?
Okay, stop there. Just stop there.
And I think it depends on the situation too, right? If you see one off in the distance that's walking away, I still would even beg you to say that you didn't have that whoa, that whoa feeling where you stop and go, holy shit. You may not be in terror, but it's still going to make you go, oh my God, what the hell is that thing? If you got one that's close to you and that thing is freaking out and screaming, throwing its hands in the air and showing its teeth and licking the sky and stomping on the ground and screaming, and you're not scared, you don't have fear. I don't know. I don't know if you should be out there.
I definitely get that part of it where you say stomping on the ground. Mate, yeah, that would scare the shit out of me. But what about the experiences that aren't like that? They're quite mild, mellow.
Well, this is what I was going to say. This is what I'm trying to say. What I want to know is basically, just put this out there, because this is something that's very questionable. Is what do we consider? Because what actually happens in everything, we do this automatically. We categorize everything and then label it. That's what we do, because that's how we've been designed to do stuff. Put things into a drawer, into a basket, and put a label on it. Yeah. So in consideration then to the topic, the field, is a feeling the same as an experience? And is an experience the same as an encounter? Because none of them are.
No, they're all different.
They're all completely different. You may experience something, but you've not had an encounter, but you're an experiencer of something. But when you've actually seen something, you're a knower that something is not just wrong. There's something in front of you that can't be worked out. Yeah.
Yep.
But it doesn't mean to say that you're a knower of exactly what it is, because we're still trying to get to the bottom of what it is.
Right.
Okay. So there's a definite fine, not even a fine line. There's a massive gap in between feeling, having feelings, having an experience, yeah,
and a fact,
and having an encounter. There's three different things. They can't be mixed up. You can say, oh yeah, I had a feeling, then I had an experience, and then I had an encounter. It can all roll into one, can't it? But it's one or the other. You don't, just because you're in the woods and you heard all these things, you can hear the density of the sound and everything else like that. Does that actually mean that what you're actually experiencing is the key topic? You can't say that, because you don't see anything. It's only then when it reveals itself does it become more of an encounter than an experience.
Yeah, I agree. I think that you put that very well.
You can experience things out there that are just completely irregular. Like we experience things, they experience things that are irregular. We experience things, but when you have a feeling when the atmosphere changes, when you walk in somewhere and go, oh, it feels really dense in here. It's really heavy.
Hair stands up on your arms.
And then you have a very strange feeling that you're being watched. Now, I don't get that feeling, often that I'm being watched. The odd occasion I'll feel something's wrong in here today, or something's not right. You know what I mean? And then you may be expecting something to happen, but it doesn't necessarily mean to say that anything's going to happen. But the other thing is that the mind obviously will play tricks on you. So though you have got all these expectations of what you're going to experience. Maybe you're putting a lot of the stuff into your head before it really happens. Then what you do is every sound sequence of events, etc., then becomes the thing that's in your head that you fear the most, which has all been pre-programmed and put there, you know?
Yeah.
You know, so it goes on for an ever and a day, doesn't it? Until it's actually, you know, somebody actually identifies it who's official, that turns around and tells everybody, no, it's real. You don't need anybody to tell you it's real if you're having encounters and stuff like that. You don't need anybody to tell you it's real or what you're experiencing. Nobody can tell you what you've experienced is real or not real. It's just down to the believer, the person, the recipient listening to the information, if they believe it's real or not in their own judgment, biological thinking and critical thinking, you know?
Here's the deal. I think that anytime you're dealing with something like this, where we don't know, that's the bottom line. We don't know. And just because somebody has an encounter with one doesn't mean that they're all the same. And anyone who tells you this, I beg you to think for yourself, because there's nobody out there who's had the ability to study them. Bottom line, that it doesn't matter what anyone says unless they have them in their freezer. And I'm not talking about one. I'm talking about there needs to be a study done on many, right? Unless they got one in a cage, or they got 50 of them in a freezer, or 50 of them in their backyard, and they're able to study them. There's nobody on this planet who can tell you for sure these are peaceful, loving, gentle creatures all across the board. Now, I can tell you this. My experience in the place that I'm at right now, I don't feel like there's any aggression whatsoever. I don't feel like I'm threatened whatsoever. Doesn't mean that I don't have a level of fear and respect going in there. I think it's smart to have some, because it's like we talked about earlier. You don't know. If you keep that little bit of fear, it keeps you on your toes. It keeps you smart. It keeps your head on a swivel, right? Helps you a lot of times keeping from making mistakes where you go, well, I hear him over there. I'm just going to walk in. I'm just going to go in. Like, we don't know what happens if you do that. And I understand the whole point of this topic is we want to learn more, but it's got to be done in a smart way. It's got
to be done in a strategic principle.
Because no one's life is worth it. It's just not. As much as I want to know, no one's life is worth taking that risk. And I understand. So if you have a place where they come in, right? They come in, they're close. Maybe they show themselves in the bushes a little bit, and you can take pictures and video of them from where you are, from 30, 40 yards away, and nothing bad's happening. Amazing. That is a goddamn blessing. Amazing. Take the pictures. But I still don't think it would be smart of you to move forward, go towards them, because after all, it's still their home. And if somebody came in my front door, if they were standing in the road and I went to the window so they could take a picture of me from the window, that doesn't mean I want them coming to my front door.
Yeah, I get it.
You understand?
Yeah.
And I just think that there's too much misinformation that people hold on to so tightly when somebody tells them that, oh, I know this and I know that.
It's a very good question. I mean, you know, let's level that out and say it's about trust at the end of the day, isn't it? But it's very difficult because, you know, nobody knows me. Nobody knows my brother. And our story is absolutely off the wall. And it's not like any other story you hear. I've never even heard anybody even mention and talk about what's happened with us. Now, people have they don't trust me. They don't know me. So it's up to them to be able to take on the information that's given, and then decipher that logically, even if they've had experience or not, and turn around and say, well, could that possibly have happened? Do I believe that? Well, look what's happened to me in their own experience, and say, well, if that's possible, anything's possible. But it doesn't mean to say that everybody's going to believe you. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Because
Of course,
because they haven't got the trust. And when the trust comes, even when you supply the evidence, even if you've got evidence, you would expect a bit more trust to be earned, but there's still that level of doubt there. Then the next thing is, well, is it hoax? Is it all of a setup and this, that, and the other? You know, and that's when you need verification and collaboration. It's difficult for like you two. You go into a lot of places by yourself. I do myself as well, but I've been very, very lucky that the incidences I've caught, as you know, both of you really now, have been with other people, and I'm very lucky to have the verification of other people towards this project. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
yeah, but even that again, all that is just another person saying something, and
of course it is.
And it can all be, all of this can be argued. That's the whole thing, is all of it can be argued. It boils down to, you know, what kind of integrity do the people have who are giving you this information?
Well, what do they have to gain out of it?
What do they have to gain? Is there something to gain? Are they pushing an agenda? Are they? This is something I always say. Like, it's like,
that's right.
I spend so much money doing this shit of my own, between, you know, camera equipment, gear, you know, I got to get new SD cards. I got to do this. I got to build the new recorder. I got all this shit, right? It all comes out of my pocket. I'm monetized on YouTube. Can I tell you how much money I've made in 8 months on YouTube?
I'd say about $11.06.
You're close.
I'd say $11.80.
I've made $24 in almost a year.
There you go.
$24 on YouTube.
Well, okay, so
and I'm saying this only because
I know where you're going with it. I know where you're going with it, and you're pointing it and funneling it to one way. I know I'm an intelligent guy, so you don't have to. I know exactly what you're saying. You know, Ben does as well, I guess, and I expect other people do. We know what you're saying. Yeah,
it's
without saying,
I don't fault anybody for making money on it. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is, you just have to watch how people do it, and how they're doing it, how they're going about it. There's a lot of reasons, I think, for it's different for different people. Some people may literally just be doing it and hoaxing things literally because they want attention. I mean, that can be as simple as that. There are people who may feel that they don't fit in anywhere else, and then they come to a community like this, which is a fringe topic already,
full of misfits,
full of us fucking weirdos and wackos who, you know, we believe stuff that most people don't. What better place for somebody who feels like they don't fit in elsewhere to come and fit in, and to get attention that maybe they didn't receive throughout the rest of their life? And it sucks, and it's sad to think that may be a possibility, but it is a possibility.
Well, you know, when you come through enough experience with people and looking,
we've pissed people off. We've lost half the chat, so people are pissed. E-Rev's the only person who's talking right now.
Oh, really?
So I guess people are taking this very, very personally.
So, well, I don't know what to say about it, really.
I don't. First of all, I don't know who it was. You didn't tell me who it was. We didn't talk about who it was. I don't know who it was.
Well, it's all about, you know,
I'm only saying this not to hurt anyone's feelings. I'm saying it because I want whoever's out there to be fucking careful, to be smart, and not just there, on here. Be smart on here too.
It's just basically, come on, let's stop. Let's take it up a level. Let's take it up a notch. Let's take it to where we need to take it.
These aren't Care Bears, folks.
Well, we don't. I'm going to be honest. I'll say now, I don't know what I'm dealing with. I've said this to you. You know, I say it personally, privately, and everything. I don't know what you're dealing with. That's my opinion. Yeah.
Christ, my dream is to go up to one and hug it. Are you kidding me? I'd love to. Doesn't mean I'm gonna.
What I've seen and what I've experienced is not this. Not.
Oh, there's so much shit out there, man. This is not the only thing. No, there's other shit out there. And we talked about this too, where people may think they're having a Bigfoot experience, and it's not. It may mimic something that people have said, you know, oh, this is Bigfoot do this, and they do this, and they do this. But we don't have firm evidence that shows that they do. Maybe these things happen in areas where there have been reported Bigfoot sightings or reported Bigfoot evidence, but who's to say that there's not something else out there in that same area? Because these strange, weird things probably want to dwell in these similar spaces.
Yeah, this is a good. I'm enjoying where we're going with this now, because, you know, I wanted to put something out there tonight, and that is, you know, do you believe in misleading people in any topic or field? Gives you a true perspective.
Misleading anybody for any reason is wrong.
Yeah.
There we go. So that, hanging on that then. Okay, so there comes intention. What is your intention? My intention in any of this is not to have a channel to make any money or anything else like that. And it's, you have a channel, but your intention is not to make really any money. Everything helps, but your intention is to get to the bottom of something. It's been a curiosity and a passion for quite a few years because of something that's maybe happened. That's with a lot of people, but it's down to intention. You either have good intention or wrong intention. There's no other intention.
Right.
You have a good intention or wrong intention. So you have to ask yourself, so all them people that have the wrong intention and know who they are, why do you have wrong intention?
I also truly believe, and I don't mean this in a mean way. I say this from experience because I've worked in the field for years. I also believe that there are people out there who have mental health issues. This is not a joke. This is not a joke. It's not meant to be a joke. It's not meant to hurt anybody. It's the truth. There are people who have mental health issues, and they, again, it would be the perfect place for somebody to come who feels like an outsider. Because
it's the underbelly. It's where dark things happen. Where people slip into the alternative world, like the Truth Network.
It is the alternative world, absolutely.
All the conspiracy, but all the alternative media was manufactured and created by the media. That's where the labeling and title come from. So you just fell into that foul gap. What we're doing here is nothing like that. What we're doing here is setting the narrative, putting it all to one side and going, no, stop, hold on a second. Because this isn't quite what it is. This is a lot bigger subject and a lot bigger picture that people have not really touched, even scratched the surface on yet. Like I say previously, nobody scratched the surface on paranormal.
You want the perfect example of going out with the intention of finding Bigfoot and being thrust into some other shit. Joe and Jesse on Hellbent Holler is the perfect example of Joe had an idea. He wanted to look for Bigfoot. They start going out doing it, and then what happens? They're in way crazier.
The rabbit hole just opened up, didn't it?
It just opened up.
That's the same as me with this whole situation. I didn't start this off because of basically what was what this all is about now, it started off because of something very strange that happened. And now, you know, the shit that I've dealt with now isn't Bigfoot at all. I don't consider it as, I don't know. That's the thing. But when you've got something, and this is why I want, you know, Lee to come on and talk to the only other person that can tell you this story, and he'll tell you exactly as it is and how he's felt emotionally about it and stuff like that, is when this thing was in front of us. Yeah. And we all know this story by now, you know, you do, guys do especially. And I can't categorically say that thing in front of me, and it was there with something else, because it was, you know, they were communicating with each other and making sure that each of them knew exactly where they were. And at that moment, I had no idea what the fucking hell it was. But when it's standing, you know, 6 to 7 foot at I mean, Lee says it's longer, but it's not. It's not. It's about, it probably no more than 50 foot away. Probably I'd say 30 foot, 40 foot maximum. But if it's that size at that distance away, and I can say that its eyes were minimum, you know, 7 inches, 8 inches apart, and then when as I moved the light beam up, you could see the contrast and the actual distinct outline of a contrast line to where the top of its head was. And that was an easily, again, 6 to 8 inches above its eyes. And its eyes were like these sunglasses, like absolutely ginormous, you know, oh God, many inches apart, you know, 6 to 8 inches apart, that are shaped like almonds. They actually went off like that into a shape where it was just insane, you know. And I'm quite, you know, steady and fearless and everything else like that. And yeah, it was a situation. It was one of them situations that you were just froze. It's completely froze. So
irregular and disturbing, fresh.
Yeah, very, yeah. And this is why, you know, to hear it from Lee without even my input or contribution or anything else like that, no, you know, it's not even.
But to have someone else there and to witness it is another justification, isn't it? It's the same reason why what happened here. I felt I wanted to go and get my partner, because in the morning
you didn't want to feel crazy.
They have thought I was fucking mental.
No, nobody believe you. Nobody would.
No one would have believed me. No.
So I could have come out. I could have come out of that woods, as I usually do sometimes by myself when it's getting dusk and stuff, which I'll come back to in a minute, because the last experience has kept me out for a bit. And you know, I could come out of there and say, "Oh yeah, I've seen this, that, and the other." I walked all the way back home, blah blah blah. You know,
yeah.
And then go through your feelings and emotions of it and stuff. When you've heard it from one, you all right, yeah, okay. But then somebody else tells you, without my input, I'm not on the sideline or anything else like that, putting me 2 pennies in. Just tell them what you've seen, tell them how it was, tell them how it made you feel. Go through everything that you have done and processed it. Think about every animal that you could actually marry that up to at that size and height of them eyes, that distance apart. You know, was it a llama on steroids? What, you know, what we're dealing with. And once you've got to that point and gone through absolutely everything, including owls, you know, there is no way that an owl that's sat up here, yeah, no way that if an owl is sat up here, in milliseconds, it drops down to there, yeah, like matters of feet to try and look under a light beam. That doesn't happen. That does not happen.
No. Because
the owl itself is only so big, yeah, so it's only going to go down that much where its head is, correct?
Yeah.
So it can't go, wallop, let's have a look under the beam, back up, back down, back up, back down, look, back, go behind the tree, hide behind the tree, poke one eye out, come back, and then stand and stare at you. And then something else is going on in the bush, and then you've got Lee going, 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock. All right, Lee, calm it. Christ, I know there's probably another one. And then when you talk to Lee about it all, you know, it's interesting to get when you talk to different people as well. In every story or every situation, there's two sides to, you know, every story. There's three sides to every story. I've always been told this. This is how it goes. There's one person's side, there's the other person's side, and there's the actual truth. Yeah?
Yeah.
So that's why you need to be truthful and be honest as possible. And that's why, in explaining this, I would never go, oh, yeah, its head was like this and it had this big body and everything else, because I didn't see that. I didn't see that. So I won't say I'm going to see it, and I'm not going to make it up in my head because I didn't see that.
Yeah, you can't. You can't exaggerate things.
If you can't be true to yourself, you can't be true to another. So you've got to try your utmost to be as truthful to yourself, to be truthful to another. Because what's the bloody point?
Yeah.
What's the point? You just...
No, I get it, Fresh. I get it. But it was great that you had Lee there so that a couple of days later or whatever it was, you could ask Lee what he saw, and that married up with what you saw.
Yeah, this also goes to another point. This is also why doing your best to document in every possible way, whether that's audio, whether that's visual, whether that's casting tracks, whether any way that you can document and have, you know, solid data that shows or says, if you can. Now, I'm not saying it can't happen all the time, but if you can, if you're one of these people who's saying that they're constantly seeing Sasquatch and they have some special bond or whatever, but you can never produce a single footprint, you don't have any audio recorded evidence, you have nothing like that, that's when I go, it's not about the topic anymore, it's about them. It's about them. It's not. When somebody goes around saying this, like, oh, I know this, I have the answers, it's not about the topic anymore. It's about them. And then at that point, I'm sorry, I can't buy into any more of it.
I'll tell you what, I'll tell you one thing I do know. I know this. It's fucked up, Frank, and something's not right. That's what I know. And I know.
For sure, I agree with you, Fresh.
And I know what I'm dealing with. The only thing I can say is energy.
Yeah.
And I can't say, and I can't categorize it and put it into a bracket and say it's a dogman. I can't say it's a werewolf. I can't say it's any of these one things because I can't do that. I've not been able to do that yet. And, you know, look what I've got recorded in evidence. It's not.
It's Malcolm.
It's Malcolm. No, it's not. It's Cecil. Cecil!
It is Malcolm.
Cecil.
And you know what's great? Can I just let's just briefly? What's great about Malcolm is that you've obviously done some research because you found out that it's now been called Storm, and you've checked the daughter out about her story.
Listen to me now. I know exactly the angle you're
He's much more invested in this than he wants to let anyone know.
Listen,
we're clever guys here, Fresh. Okay,
no, you're not. You're thick as shit. I'm going to tell you how it is.
Okay, all right, go on then. What, without going? Yeah.
No,
we said it. He's going to befriend the sheep.
Yeah. Listen, I have got a big heart, but in the animal world, we all know in the animal world.
Yes, I know what you're going to say.
Actually work and how things work. If you have a run to the litter, you have to abandon that because you've got to savour everything else because you've got to get on the run. You've got to move. You're an animal, yeah? So you've got to turn your little pups around. You've got to get everybody sorted. Upbeat, trot, 1, 2, 1, 2, one step in front of the other. Come and get your milk, you bastards. Right? Yeah. You can't have somebody there that's going, hey, fucking man. That ain't going to happen. Is it? You've got to go.
This animal is...
I'm not doing the impression again. I can't do it.
Okay, but this animal is not now
my neck, really,
a farm animal. This is a domesticated animal we're talking about. It's got a name. It's been given a home.
Hold on a minute. No, it's not, Ben. It's not a domesticated animal. A sheep is not a domesticated animal. It's bred under Chimera rule to feed.
Yes, I understand that, but this one is now.
No, it's not
In the
domesticated. You drive me mad with it. It should be. Oh God, you bastard!
Yeah.
You know that cats are domesticated animals, right? But guess what? If a cat is left out to its own devices and doesn't have a home or anyone to show love or anything, they become feral. They can also end up becoming domesticated again.
Yeah,
pretty quickly, just giving a little bit of that love and
bit of love, yeah. But I can't get near to Storm anyway, even though I've wanted to. I guarantee you now, if I went to Storm now, because he's struggling to walk, and I put all my thought into it and just put my healing hand on his head, but I could get that motherfucker to walk.
Well, then what the fuck are you doing?
Now, keep that thought. Now we're getting somewhere.
No, because I've got 3 fences to go over and everything. Imagine them seeing me in the garden. Who's that in the garden?
But
call the police.
They're your neighbors. They don't know who you are?
Yeah, they'd be fine. They saw you biting the fence.
I'm not going to be going over in an Hawaiian shirt. Jesus Christ.
Hawaiian shirt, Speedo, and flip-flops.
There's nothing wrong with that, Fred.
I'll be the black hooded healer assassin. That's what I'll be. In the shadows and just go.
Well, then do that, Darth Vader. Go at night.
Stealth. It's raining at the minute. I can't.
Okay. Anyway, it's lovely to know. It's lovely to know that you've thought about the fences and you've thought about the healing. And you're a bigger man for that.
Yes, he is.
Well, thank you so much, Ben, for telling me this.
That's all right.
No, thank you. I've had your affirmation. I feel fucking proper leveled out with it all.
It's free. It's free and it's great. So,
amen.
Okay.
All right. With that being said,
sorry. Can I just ask? Back to the believing thing. I would like to ask the people in the chat. Yeah, please. You recently reviewed who you follow on YouTube.
Good question.
That's what I would like to ask.
You've got to say it like this. One for. Well, how are you saying it, Ben?
Okay. One for you haven't reviewed.
No, yes or no. Yes or no. So it's 1 yes or 2 no. Yeah.
Or just yes or no.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. So the question is: have you recently reviewed the people that you follow on YouTube? Yes or no? No. 1 for yes, 2 for no.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, who you follow on YouTube, who you watch on YouTube.
Have you
specifically in this topic? I think in this field.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking. I don't care about the Pokemon cards that you open. I don't care about the ASMR videos you watch.
So one is what?
Yes, 1 is yes, 2 is no.
2 is no. Okay, so if you reviewed recently, like your channels that you follow, and you've made some changes because maybe of
the question is, have you gone over who you watch on YouTube and really looked at who you're following, who you're subscribed to, what their agenda is, what they're putting out, and because I know that I've subscribed to channels before on a whim, watched 1 or 2 things, thought it was good, and then the more that I watched, I went, I don't know about this, or things come out later on that make you go, okay, yeah, so this person's full of shit. And then do you review it? Do you go back and look and say, okay, I don't really like where this is going. I'm not subscribing to this bullshit anymore. Because it happens. This happens. You know, you may see one thing and it's good, right? But it doesn't tell you everything you need to know.
And then over a period of time, you soon realize that, hold on a
minute.
Who
are you supporting?
Are you actually fueling something that shouldn't be there and is going down?
I'm sure. Listen, and I'm sure, but plenty of people have done it to me and gone, yeah, fuck this guy. See you later.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean,
and that's fine. Go for it.
We know who's now left and no longer here, yeah, and that's because they just That's what you do. You're observant. If you're on your game, you're very observant to what's going on. You see, you don't have to be writing things down. There's predominant names, isn't there?
But yeah, because here's one of the things. Like in the beginning of this, I really got like sucked into just saying, you know what? Everything's okay. Everything. I'm going to accept everything and everybody. And I can't do that. I just can't. Because doing that isn't doing this subject. It's doing it a disservice.
It's not giving it a justice. It is muddying the water completely. And then you're fueling. If you're gonna do that, you're just gonna fuel that and put energy into that. That more energy is gonna carry. It's the same as everything, like prayer and stuff. The more energy is gonna get for that, the more energy and belief is gonna grow for that one thing. You know.
Yeah, you just can't do it. It's like,
and what we want to do is try and turn that now and go, right, okay, let's objectively give this a real good shot.
That word objective is such an important word in this topic. Everything you do when it comes to this topic has to be done objectively. You have to leave your feelings out of it. You have to leave your wants and needs out of it. You cannot be married to this. You can't be emotionally attached to it. It has to be something that you're passionate about. But when it comes time to get down to brass tacks, you're able to disassociate from that, separate from that, and say, okay, bottom line, I can only focus on what's real, what's right in front of me, what I can see, what I experience. I can't take an experience and exaggerate it even a tiny bit. You can't do that. Because that takes every bit of integrity away from this.
That's
and if
it. I mean,
even a tiny bit of integrity is taken away from this, like it's been over and over, you see where we are now. Yeah. When you have people out there who are doing amazing work, right? Like I say it, I talk about them a lot because I believe in them, but I'm such a fan of Joe and Jesse because of what they do. I think they do incredible work. And to have people like that who can't get funding to push this shit forward because people have muddied this shit so much is very frustrating.
I think that between the pair of them, they have a complete open-mindedness as well. So it's not, they've not labeled stuff and categorized stuff. It's open.
Yeah.
It's open for what we've just said, the O word.
Interpretation.
Well, you've got to be objective. So it's about being open-minded and not categorizing things and saying it's this one thing. So you've got the mindset and the frame set that now you're going down that path, because until it happens, you don't know what path you're on. And, you know, I encourage more people to be like Joe and Jesse, and you should be like this in the game. We've all got things to learn as well with equipment and stuff like that, and you get it to how we need it as the best, and just find methods and ways that do find things out, which is very, very difficult. You know, it's like being in the right place at the right time with the right piece of equipment, doing the right thing, isn't it? Just to get it right, you know, it's never going to happen. It's very, very hard work, I think, you know. Most of these things or things that are happening here are either experienced by repetition. So you could be going to a site for quite a few years and be seen going to a site, and then you might start to experience things, you know. It might just be the casual walker that's walking through a location. It doesn't have to be a forest or woods. It could be a countryside area that sees something, you know. And not any one of us knows at that point, until that point, exactly what it is. And still at that point, you don't know what it is. And if you did know what it was, 100%, you wouldn't be asking people questions about it. You would have no doubt. And nobody's got, if you notice and look around you, is that everybody has doubt because they don't know what they're looking for or looking at. That's why everybody keeps asking the same question: is it blood and flesh? Is it flesh and bones? Is it blood and, you know, blood and flesh and blood? Is it supernatural? Is it X, Y, Z? And everybody's still trying to categorize it.
Us included, eh?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
That's
of
exactly.
course.
Yeah, of course, exactly. Because
Yeah.
none of us, we're nowhere near anything. Like I said, we're not worked out ghosts and paranormal, or how a spirit that I know damn well was passed over is able to emerge an object, a living object, not something that's dead like a plastic car or something, a living apple, and been able to achieve what they've done with it. This
Well,
is just,
the apple's actually dead if it's not on the tree anymore.
well, yeah, true, but you know what I'm saying. It's got cell. You know, it's cell. It's
Just
dying
saying.
cells. Bird is the word. I'm just saying, yeah, just putting it out there, right?
Put it out there.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying. It's very, very difficult. It's very what we're dealing with is a big higher conscious than the level of conscious thinking that's currently out there, and that needs to change.
And what we don't want to be dealing with is misinformation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, once you're able to identify misinformation, Ben,
Yeah.
means we have to be honest in ourselves, true to ourselves, to be truthful to another, as we all have been in the game or in any game. You know, when you started, you were starting to go down this one path and started to get a little bit carried away with certain things because you didn't know any other. Then, as you've gone down into the box, and you've gone down into the box, which we called, as we spoke to earlier on the phone, is more like a rabbit hole, the box, isn't it? It will keep you there, yeah, unless you see something else. Then what happens is that maybe some two fine gentlemen come along and scoop you up and go, yo, what's this?
Good point, Bernie. Good point, Bernie. Sorry, Fresh. Go on.
I've seen Bernie's thing, but I want to say this real quick because I don't think that that people can't make money from this topic. If Kerry was one of the best things going for this subject, Kerry Arnold was one of the greatest things that this community had seen in a long time. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, I mean, he was, you know, until recent findings, he was up there with some of the, you know, the people that you would say, oh yeah.
Yeah. What are you talking about though? What findings?
You know what I'm saying? Like people that have been there for 6 years, 10 years plus.
Yeah. Kerry was one of the best things that happened to this topic, and Kerry's channel was monetized. It was a business. He made money from it. He had a lot of subscribers. He sold a lot of merch. He made documentaries. He didn't. But he did it in a way that was honest, right? So people need to understand that there's a difference. That there can be people out here who make money on this topic. I don't have a problem with that. I'm not one of them. I don't make money on it. But I don't have a problem with people making money on it if they're doing it in an honest way.
Do you think, hanging on that point, do you think that's then maybe kind of decided on somebody's demeanor? So I see Kerry didn't have an ego. He was very humble.
No, he had no ego. He was so humble. He would help.
And
He would help just about anybody.
And he was very, very kind. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if anything, when you take the positives from the negatives, if somebody could just take them three attributes in themselves and just take that on themselves and give that some thought, that's what all Kerry was always about, was making an impression, planting a seed, making people think, because his story was that of he wasn't the person that when he sadly departed, he was a different person to the person that he was, and he was a better person.
Yeah, he changed his whole life. He completely changed his whole life.
And sometimes in life, you know, once we've learned and we've done what needs to be done, maybe it's time that...
It's so crazy you saying this, because I just thought about that today. I was talking to my mom, and I was sending her videos, some of his documentaries, because, you know, I was like, here, you got to watch these. These are really good. And I'm sitting there thinking, and I'm going, you know, he spoke very openly about how he didn't like the person he was prior to this encounter that he had. He just didn't like who he was. He had had a lot of loss in his life. He dealt with it in a way that he wasn't happy with. He didn't like who he had become. He was kind of a recluse. He would just go do his thing and stay away from people and all these things. And he said that, you know, this thing, coupled with those other terrible things that happened to him, kind of forced him to take a look at himself. And he made all these changes to become a better person, somebody that he could look in the mirror and be proud of, and somebody that he liked. And
I think I think if you see that somebody, when they know that things aren't right, and this, you know, should resonate with quite a few people, I think, is that internal renovation is a very important value that everybody must take on and possess.
Yeah.
And we don't do it enough.
No, it's easy to get complacent about it. It's easy to let life get in the way and, you know, forget about those things. But yeah.
But once you've learned, this is the greatest thing, I think, is once you've learned, there's no good keeping all this to yourself and being selfish. You've got to be selfless. And in the kindness comes the giving. And the giving is not just to take all of this knowledge with you, is to spread it and share it, talk about it, you know, and just be, you know, kind and giving with everything you're going to do, you know.
Now I think you're giving people some of these people out there who are so free with giving information all the time, and it's the wrong information. That's the wrong.
Yeah, but that's not our fault. That's down to the believer again. We can't change or control what every person does or what they believe in. Again, it's experience. So it's you know, you want to shout from the rooftops at these people and say, well, come on, wake up. But you have to respect that there's going to be a process there. And there's a learning process, like I was just establishing the facts, you know, with Ben, like establishing the facts with myself, establishing the fact if we're true to ourselves, we'll always say, oh, shit, I went down that path, that was a bit wrong. You know what I mean? And then you self-adjust and go, well, hold on a minute. And it's if you're lucky and you've got good people around you, you'll have somebody go, hold on a minute, just check this, just look at this. I'm not saying one thing, and I respect what you're saying, but just give this a little look. And just see what your perception is after taking a look at that. And then
I think there's a big difference as well between misinformation and disinformation.
Well, there is. That's the two words for a reason, isn't there?
Yeah, of course. But I mean, you know, it differs, doesn't it? Disinformation, which is deliberately deceptive or propagated information. Yeah. Misinformation.
Yeah.
Could be somebody that thinks they see something, made a genuine mistake, brought it to light, blah blah blah. You know, there's two very different things going on. Isn't there?
One is I think I seen something, yeah, and one is I know damn well it didn't, but I'm gonna make it up and tell you what I did.
Yeah.
Erev, Kerry Arnold from Bigfoot Odyssey. If you haven't seen any of his stuff, I beg you, please go watch. Go on his channel and go to the playlists. And I would say first go to his documentaries and watch the documentaries, especially watch the one where he tells his encounter. Kerry was a very special person. Kerry's the reason that I'm doing this right now. He's one of the biggest reasons that I'm even doing this. And he's a big reason why a lot of people got into this topic. He was selfless and kind and humble and smart and driven and all the things that you want in somebody who's in the spotlight in a topic like this. But yeah, it's really worthwhile going and checking out his stuff because it was really, really good. And then he did, you know, many interviews with many researchers, many people who had encounters and experiences. And
I mean, when they started off, you know, and say,
I have 2 minutes of battery life left. I'm just letting you know.
When they started off, and they used to go to people's houses and do the interviews. I just love that format.
My favorite.
I just loved it. It was so personal and so sweet and so sincere.
And
It
honest.
It was just so honest and genuine and so nice. But then when something else happened, it started to change. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's where it started to take a different path, where it really, really didn't really appreciate where it was going to go. And I think Kerry was getting around to the point where he felt that he'd been hoodwinked, maybe, and this, that, and the other, you know. And then all this thing happens, and it's very strange, you know, very, very strange. But like I said 10, 15 minutes ago, sometimes we come onto the earth to do something. Once we've done what we need to do, sometimes some of us have to go. And we've done what we need to came here to do.
You never get enough time with the great ones.
Yeah, he did a
That's
lot,
right.
man. He did a lot.
It's a saying, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's there's some precedent there, and I think, you know, from conversation tonight.
And let me be clear, I didn't know Kerry either.
Well, nobody did know him.
So when I say you never get enough time with the great ones, I didn't mean Kerry. I meant just in general, you never get enough time with the great ones. Something, for some reason, is always cut short.
But that great person is only great to whoever thinks they're great. Don't forget that.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Is I don't know a single person who came in contact with Kerry Arnold who didn't think he was great.
Oh no, I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's if you want to hear that about your son, don't you? You want to hear that about your children. If somebody turns around and says, you know, I have met your son or daughter, and throughout everything, everybody absolutely loves him. You've done amazing. You want to hear that.
Everybody who ever got to communicate with that man says the same thing. He was special. He was just a special guy.
That's what they say about me, is special.
Yeah, different kind of special. Where's your helmet?
Don't let me go and get it out, because I'll have to start banging up the wall again and biting the air. Just to put it to test and see if it still works before 3 a.m. until it turns into a pumpkin.
Oh God.
Is everybody, have we had any good conversations tonight? Has there been a good topic of conversation? You know, there's things that, you know, there's lots of things I would have said and things I was, you know, questions and stuff I was going to come out with, but they can all.
Well, you babble every episode at some point, so you'll get them out next time.
I tell you what, it's a good job that I do.
I think it's been good tonight, hasn't it?
I don't know. I don't know.
I think it's been good. I mean,
It has been good.
I have self-esteem and low self-worth issues.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, yeah.
Well, listen, Fresh, you'll feel differently once you've sorted that sheep out. Trust me.
You're gonna have to move on from this at some point. So
never. It's not going to happen.
You know, the next live.
Yeah.
And I bring up a sheep's head. What would you say?
What we do live? I want to see him in there. I want to see Malcolm there.
I'll show you a blood spilled head that's been cut off and go.
No,
here's Malcolm. Look.
Feel free to email me, Erev. Feel free, man. Anytime. Anytime.
So,
do you have the email? I'll put it up again real quick. But my this battery's about to die. Like
Ben.
Oops.
Ben, just on stats, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're on stats. That's a good place for you to be, isn't it? Stats. Could you be statistician?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks. So on the stats, we've gone three in 28, 21, 15. So I just want to make sure that everybody's aware of that. Okay.
Now we were at 9.
So there we go. We've not sustained that throughout. We've not even sustained the carriage through, right? So it's either one or two things. We're actually sorting the wheat out from the chuff to where we want to go, or people, don't think this is now an area where they want to be because they want to be in love with the thought of what's been in the films and stuff.
With mustache foots.
And
eyebrow squatch.
Backpack! It's coming out of the backpack!
Just saying. Yeah, I literally have a minute and like 36 seconds.
Yeah, you said, do you know what?
You said,
I've been watching it and it's now, you said that 7 minutes ago in 23 seconds, 24.
No, it said I had about 2 minutes left, but it's never completely accurate.
I wish you'd be really approximate with me because I'm all about like really.
Yeah, Carl, speaking of stats, mate, come on.
What?
Well, with the 1 minute 30, I mean, how long have we actually got it? Is it 13 minutes or
when the battery gets low, when it's this low, it comes up and it usually says like you have about 10 minutes left, and then about 10 minutes sometimes is 7, sometimes it's 14. It's not really accurate. And then when it gets down really low, it'll tell you you have about 2 minutes left. Sometimes 2 minutes is 30 fucking seconds. I never know, but it's telling me I have about 1 minute and 36 seconds of battery life right now. It's not the most accurate thing, but it's basically telling me I don't have a lot.
I was put in charge of stats, so I thought I had to ask.
Well, thank you so much.
Okay.
I'm not being funny, but if the statistician can't ask questions, we're fucked.
Anyway, I'm sorry that we've lost so many. Have we lost a lot of people in the chat?
Hold on, can a band?
Listen, I think here's the deal. We're looking into it too much, and personally, I don't really give a shit because the people that are here, I enjoy having here. That's what matters.
Yeah,
people that are here are the people that I want here. If they don't want to be here, then I don't want them here anyway.
Mm-hmm. If
right?
Your vibe attracts the tribe. Yes, things are changing, but with change, it either becomes progressive and developmental, or it drops, just stays where it is and static.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do? Do you want to keep repeatedly asking the same questions like a dumbass?
Well, I've thoroughly enjoyed myself, and I think.
See what he's just done then, Kyle. Again.
I think I've enjoyed the company, I've enjoyed the chat, and it's been great.
Right, well,
it has been great.
Thanks for having me, Carl.
Thank you guys for being here. Bernie, I did see this. It's an incredible story. This poor guy who got attacked and mauled by the black bear. You guys see that story?
That was a while ago. Was that the really big bear that was just like they found the bear, they shot the bear, and it's just absolutely ridiculously?
No. I don't think so. This bear was only about 300 pounds, but this guy got attacked by it 3 times in the woods. He got attacked, got it away from him, started leaving. It came back, attacked him again, got it away from him, started moving, and it came back again. And I'm talking about there is no way this man should have been alive for what happened to him.
No way.
He literally was holding his face on. He had to push his eye in and hold his head up to be able to look out of it.
Jesus.
This one was crushed. This one was falling out. His jaw was falling down. All of the flesh on his face and the back of his head was peeled off. He had crushed his skull, crushed his leg, severed the tendons and ligaments in his leg. I mean, there was horrendous. He's alive, bro.
What?
He's alive. It took a chunk out of his side. Like I don't know how. The doctors were just like, what?
You know what? I wouldn't want to be alive like that. Would you?
He had to have multiple surgeries. Obviously, you could tell his face doesn't look quite normal.
Sounds like something out of Revenant.
I'd have gone.
Sounds like something out of the Revenant film with Leonardo.
It's brutal, man. The story is absolutely brutal.
So I'd have said at that point, stop a minute before you go any further. We've got a mirror. Right, carry on. That's what I'd have done. There's no way I'd want to be living like that. No way. I have enough problems. I have enough problems with ills of eyes and no internal organs. So I won't want to look like that.
Am I talking about a different attack, Bernie? Maybe. Oh yeah, no, this is different. This is a different attack. I must be, yeah.
Okay.
He's talking about an elderly man sitting out in front of his truck in the morning with a coffee, and the bear killed him. Authorities ruled it predation.
You don't need that, do you?
No, that don't sound good either. No, this guy should have been dead though. It's on the internet. It's all over the internet. It's crazy shit.
I bet the homeowners were looking for him for absolutely ages. Like, he was meant to start at 8. He was just out here having a coffee. Where's he gone? His truck's here. His keys are here. His toolbox is here. Where is he gone? They'll be out there going, fucking hell, where is he gone?
I wouldn't imagine it would take him long to figure out if he was sitting on his truck and got attacked by a bear with all the blood on the ground that he's probably not doing so well.
I'll probably give it away, but
yeah.
Just think, oh my God, I've just dragged him. It didn't bite him up and stuff like that. I just dragged him. You got no way of, like, you see some of the size of these bears. They are just.
What a terrible way of going, huh?
Yeah, awful. Hear the crunching of your skull.
Imagine looking into the head of the thing that's just squishing your head. And you're like,
yeah.
Yeah. That guy who lives, he tells a story and he talks about how he could hear the crunching. It sounded like potato chips.
Yeah,
being crushed. Imagine that.
It doesn't bear thinking about, really, and it makes you feel really lucky every day and be blessed and grateful that you call him again.
On a lighter note, did anybody hear about the guy that fended off the crocodile?
No.
I think it was last week.
No, you're making that up.
No. Crocodile got him in the head.
Disinformation.
And he managed to peel the mouth open and get free. I think he was a diver. I'll find the information and I'll send it over.
Well, I tell you what, more crazy things have happened. You know what I mean? To do with octopuses and all sorts of different things.
But imagine your head in a crocodile's mouth, and then you've got to open.
No, they're pound per pressure bite force. I think the only thing out there that's got more than that is a polar bear. I think.
Yeah. Dreadful.
I think. That may even be wrong. Saltwater crocodile might have more than full-grown polar bear.
They're definitely lethal. That's for sure. But
the salties are bad, very bad.
Salty.
Yeah, they're dinosaurs, bro. They're dinosaurs.
Salty's all right. I like salty.
No, not explorers. Saltwater crocodiles.
Yeah, I don't have a problem around here. We've only got like streams and stuff. That's like, it's not even fresh water. It's just polluted commercial waste.
That's good.
Nothing really exists in these things. But all the streams and stuff years ago in England, all before.
All right, we're not getting into streams and shit now. I told you I got a minute left of the stupid stream.
Yeah, but that was like 74 minutes ago then, weren't it? So let's just leave it at that. It's before we get long. And just, yeah. But there's so much to be discussed, as per usual. We're not even gone on to really any topics there, really.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
We're still figuring it out. We're new.
Should we have a chalkboard or a memo board and start writing some stuff?
We'll have a white erase board.
I'd love to just one night just to have a questions thing, just like putting stuff out there.
Yeah, we could do that.
Just asking simple questions, because I think people like the questions? Do actually people appreciate being asked questions? Like, does it actually plant seeds or make people think? I don't know.
No idea.
Maybe the audience will tell us. Sorry?
Bigfoot Littlefoot's just popped in.
I was going to say, I wondered what was going on. It's
just
nice to
say hello.